Hello, and you're listening to You Still Going On About That with Rob Israel and Joseph K. You could find us anywhere you could download podcasts. Like, comment, and subscribe. You could also follow us on our Instagram at YSGOAT, Facebook at YSGOAT, and at Twitter, YSGOAT. Thank you. I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still going on about that? I stole the that.
What?
That's right. It's
yeah.
mine now.
Well, this is that's apropos because this will be an unusual episode.
What? Wait, we're not talking about Forrest Gump this week?
No.
I watched it 36 times. Hundreds and hundreds of pages of notes. Ready to be blurted out.
The minutia and trivia of Forrest Gump. No, this is a different week. We've done this once before. We're going to talk about your art.
Who, me?
Yes.
I make art?
You, Rob Israel, your art. This is your life.
Are you talking about Rob Israel art? On Twitter?
Exactly.
And Facebook?
And Instagram?
Well, Rob Israel on Instagram and Rob Israel Geek Art on Instagram.
Yes. Well, we'll cover those. But there's also two pieces of pressing news that maybe we could talk about first.
Sure. Let's talk about ratings.
Yeah, yes.
Our ratings.
Right.
Okay, you told me something. My hat that I was wearing flew off my head. And you told me, like in The Simpsons.
Yes.
I found out they were filming Radioactive Man in town or something, and the kids.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But then they said they had to fix the ventilation system in the school.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. That was funny. Yeah. Well, so I had a crazy couple days. And I normally check the ratings every day. I get an email that comes in my box, and it says our current ranking and in what countries we're ranked and everything. And we've been at a little above 200 for forever, it seems. And we had kind of been creeping up. And it said that we were at 121, but we had declined by 40 spots. And I was like, wait a minute, that means... And I looked at the email from the day before that I hadn't opened, and we had peaked at 79
in the USA.
In the USA.
In film?
In film.
Wow!
It's crazy. Yeah, well, and that, there's a lot of subcategories for film, but we were 79 in all of the film categories.
Wow.
So,
watch out.
Right.
Ebert and Roper. And... who's the guy? Oh man, I dressed up like him for Halloween one year.
Gene
Shalit.
Gene Shalit.
Yeah, watch out, retired Gene Shalit.
Right,
coming to get you.
It was crazy. We hit 79, and for days and days we were in the top 200. We were easily in the top 200, and during the same time period we were number 3 in the Czech Republic.
Solid fan base, as we found out on our Instagram too.
Yeah, a guy named I'm going to mispronounce the name. Nico. It's like an acronym. Nico Claw or Nico Claw or something. Yeah. He reached out to us today on the Instagram and said that he listens to us in the Czech Republic and gets a kick out of us talking about our Czech audience and stuff.
Maybe he is the Czech audience.
I don't know, but we're glad to have him aboard. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the big news. Is the rate.
Maybe we'll get down 78.
Right.
The funny thing is, this episode is not a film one.
Right. Yes.
And it's not the debates.
No.
But we're going to talk about some of my artwork.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about artwork, though, specific kind of artwork that I do.
Yes, yeah, we've done this once before, and I took just kind of a sample of 5 or 6 images that I thought in my own head kind of represented, common things that you address in your art. And it was there's some political stuff, but it was a lot of pop culture stuff. And this time, because we've recently done some Democratic debate episodes and an impeachment episode, I thought we'd focus just on your political artwork.
And that's gotten me some flack.
Yep.
I've gotten death threats.
Yeah.
I've gotten shadow banned.
Yes.
A bunch of times. People don't believe me when I said I was. I'm one thing the right wing has been good at is co-opting the word shadow ban they're the ones claiming that they're getting shadow banned. And that no one else is. When in reality, because I'm a left-leaning artist,
sure.
I attack Trump, I attack gun violence, I attack terrible things.
Yeah, right. Well, you can. I mean, that's look. I think
I attack things that are bad for reality. And, and I've been shadow banned from it. Sometimes it's like stupid things, like it could just be. It could almost be like not even the messaging of the actual image. It could just be like because Trump had like a swastika or something,
right?
Or there was some, I don't know. We'll get into it as we go into each piece. But the one thing the right wing, they like to claim that they're the ones being shadow banned. And I like to always say to them, okay, well, hold on. When you say shadow ban, well, again, the people that are getting pulled down that are supposedly on the right, these are actual, like, hate groups. Yeah. Like, they're the ones getting pulled down because they're posting, like, actual hate propaganda.
Well, they're, like, advocating violence.
Yeah, or, like, if you're, like, an Alex Jones and you're doing the Sandy Hook thing.
Right.
And you're exploiting that for money and getting rich.
Well, you're committing crimes, or encouraging the committing of crimes.
Right. But you're also posting, like, hate propaganda.
Yeah.
Now, those people should be taken down.
Oh, of course.
Now, I always say to people who say they're on the right, do you want to be associated with those people? Because I like to think that there was a separation between the extremist hate groups and people that claim they're just straight up conservative, like they just like.
Well, I don't.
Guts. Yeah, and I think when you cry about that, you're like kind of almost accepting an extremist into your, Proud Boys or just straight up like the people who were at the Charlottesville riot. Like,
well, it's true. Look, it used to be that back when he ran for whatever he was running for, when like a David Duke was a Republican politician, most mainstream Republicans kind of denounced him. They may have secretly supported him, but they put a different.
It was toxic.
Yes,
it was. It's amazing how I feel like in the 80s and 90s that was like shunned more.
Yeah,
but thanks to the internet and like the soft bigotry of or the soft neo-Nazism that floats around on YouTube.
Oh
and
yeah,
on social media, that people almost accept things like a David Duke now as a viable, like, oh, it's just another point of view.
Right. Yes.
When I was growing up as a kid, like the Klan was so like reviled at this point, like and we're talking in the Reagan era.
Oh yeah,
it didn't matter. You couldn't be out and about doing that. Like I remember, like the Klan was going to march in Long Island. Long Island was not a liberal bastion anyway whatsoever, and people were going to show up there with like rocks and like, I mean, they were going to march in New York in the 90s, and people were like ready to kill them. I mean, like it was. But today, it's like. You got your Richard Spencers now, and they're cleaner looking, and they speak better, and but he's just a trust fund baby, so it's a different story.
Yeah.
Now this is what leads to all the artwork that I do.
Yes.
Not to say, but so as I was saying about like the shadow banning and everything, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
People on the left, anyone who just states an opinion is getting shadow banned.
Well, there's a difference between shadow banning and not accepting a certain type of behavior or message on your platform. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like these companies are not. They're companies like Twitter. I got to get into it real quick. I got in trouble on Twitter today.
Oh yeah, you told me this.
And it's the most ridiculous thing. I wish I took a screenshot of it. It was the dumbest thing. I couldn't believe that. I've wrote worse things on Twitter before and never gotten in trouble.
Right.
But today I got in trouble. It was Meghan McCain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right there.
Sure.
It's already funny.
Hey, wait a minute. Is she related to John McCain?
Are you kidding?
I think...
Wait, you mean she didn't just come out of nowhere, work her way up? And she never mentions this guy. Who is this John McCain?
Yeah, I think...
Was he important? To some people, was he a big name?
Yeah, I think, and look, I'm going out on a limb here. I'm just doing some mental arithmetic, But I believe that she may have a platform because of her father, John McCain, who was a politician.
Holy shit.
Right?
I didn't see the nepotism.
No.
And it's weird because she
up on
always mentions that guy's name and uses her father's name. I mean, this man, whoever he may be.
Yes.
Yeah. So she posted this thing. Oh, no, it was, what's his name? Booker? No, what's his name?
Cory Booker. Yeah.
Was on The View.
Right.
And they were talking about something. And... he has almost similar views to Beto when it comes to taking guns away, or at least in a different way. He was trying to be polite to her.
Yes.
And she was like going on this bizarre rant about how you can't take her brother's guns away.
Right.
Like, as if her brother is this like hayseed living on a porch in Appalachia. Like,
right.
Nobody take my rifle.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm like, these are like upper crust blue bloods.
Yeah.
Ingrained in media. She's been ingrained in the media for years. She's trying to sell herself as if she's some like Ma Clampett character now who goes home,
gun control.
Whiskey.
I'm again it.
Yeah. Like she drinks whiskey and shoots her guns in the air at the same time.
Right.
And she's trying to sell it, and it's hysterical because even when she's on The View, she wears these like clothes that like, okay, you are not doing any of that. I don't believe you. Like no one. I don't know who you think believes this shit.
Right.
And so, first thing I posted one image of I just pulled a GIF of like Deliverance kid, and this is Meghan McCain's brother with the kid playing the banjo.
The dueling banjo.
Yeah. Classic. But then I said something about Meghan McCain. This time I did it. I actually commented on ABC.
Okay.
Who posted it.
All right.
And maybe that's where I got in trouble. You got to be careful who you say, what organizations and everything you say it to. So I just said Meghan McCain is playing up this. And it wasn't even like that bad. I just said she's like playing redneck dress up as if she's Larry the Cable Guy. Like she's pulling this Larry the Cable Guy bullshit. No one's buying it.
Yeah.
And I got a thing from Twitter today that said that I'm on 12-hour notice. I could fight it.
Right, yeah.
And I did fight it, but then they came back and said, no, you lost or something. So I can't do anything.
We double-checked. You're wrong.
Yeah, and I can't do anything for 12 hours because I said that Meghan McCain was the Larry the Cable Guy of fucking Republican politics. Or so. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I've gotten a number of 12-hour bans, and I never researched it. I assumed it was because someone reported me.
That has to be it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what it is? I did it on a source that's probably not a good place. Like, if it was somewhere else, like, if it was, like, on a more, like, I guess, liberal or more like a comedian or somebody. But I went to actual ABC, The View, and said that, and that's probably what got me in trouble.
Yeah, I would imagine. And one of their fans probably saw it.
How dare you say that about Meghan McCain? Or who knows, maybe it was Meghan McCain herself. You know?
Right?
She's like, no, hey, this guy's on to me.
I think it was the ghost of John McCain.
Now I'm talking about my daughter like that.
Oh, yeah.
He just came in here. That was him. Ghost of John McCain.
Well, yeah. So your political artwork, and I would say like your political artwork. I don't know what percentage would you? I was going to guess.
Well, there's been periods where I don't do any, and then there's days I was doing like tons of it. I hardly do any anymore. I really don't. I just feel like at this point, unless something good comes up. Actually, it's funny as Twitter has been a good like, almost like a good outlet for me to just get out things that I don't need to like feel the need to compelled to draw everything. I'm not a political cartoonist. I don't get paid to do this. I don't think I have got paid. I've sold like maybe one or two drawings, like Trump drawings. I made some stickers and tees. Yeah, but I've never like was paid by a newspaper or magazine or any organization for this stuff. So it's like when people like, they'll be like, I'll post something with Trump and there'll be like people leave comments like, "You trying to get rich off of Trump?" And I'm like, what are you talking about? I guess I'm a fucking idiot because I haven't made really anything. Yeah. I'm like, no, just getting out my like, it's like catharsis, you know? It's and Twitter's been a good outlet for me to just say what I need to say. And if it's worth an image, but I've drawn so much stuff, and Trump is such a repetitive clown, or buffoon that I don't need to. There's no reason to make something new.
Right.
Like, it's like there's things that he does, and it's like, and I could just be like, I have this like Rolodex images, and when the day is right, I'm just like, here you go, you know. It's like, and we'll talk about those images, and I can tell you like every time that something comes up, then I could easily just be like, okay, this works because I don't. There's no reason to. And again, it's like, you know, it's nothing to do with laziness. Like I draw other things. I'm working. I get paid by people to do stuff. I also have to like, you know, do things. And it's like, and it really doesn't do much for me. If anything, it probably has hurt me in some ways. In some ways, it hasn't. It's like I get people who come up to me at shows and whenever I do things, and they'll say like amazing things to me. Like they love it, and it's nice.
Yeah.
But you know, if it affects my livelihood, it's a different story. I'll still keep doing it. Like I won't post something and I'll tell somebody, but then something will happen in there, and I'll be like, fuck it. I just have to be careful. And I've done we'll talk about like a lot of the drawings I've done have been Trump stuff. Mm-hmm. But I do a lot of other things like the political, like I posted today that one about the cut off your dick thing.
Yeah, yes, that's a great one. It's a picture of a
cartoon
junk.
With a hatchet.
Yes,
and
he says if you don't like abortions, cut off your dick.
Yeah,
yes,
and
sage advice.
I mean, it's just like it's a simple argument, and the problem was, you know, people were like, "What are you saying?" And I'm like, well, it's like, calm down, buddy. Like, I'm not telling people to cut off the dick. I'm just making a joke. Like, first of all, as a man, you should shut the fuck up.
Right.
And this is the problem right here. Women are not cattle. This is chattel or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like, this isn't the 5th century.
I mean,
or modern era.
There's a rich, long tradition of doing stuff like that. Like with Jonathan Swift's Modest Proposal. He wasn't literally meaning we should eat children. I mean, he was kind of like using that to make a point. You know, it's the same thing.
The reason why I made that drawing was because states started putting in these really insane anti-abortion things. And today, a lot of states, it was happening early this year, like a whole ton of them. It was like Alabama, Missouri, Georgia, I think it was like Ohio. Well, a federal judge today, and thanks to the ACLU, basically made sure that no states, it's all blocked.
Yeah.
So Georgia, Alabama, so that means Disney now can stay in Georgia.
Yep. Cool.
All those Hollywood studios can take advantage of the lower cost of things in Georgia.
Right.
Good for them, right, guys? I wonder if Georgia... That's probably what ended up deciding in the end. Like,
yeah, probably.
Who knows? I mean, money talks, bullshit walks.
Right.
And
we got to keep a hold of that sweet
there's
rat cheese.
Billions of dollars in there. That's not a small industry.
Oh, no. No, not at
all. I mean, that's where Thanos was made. Mm-hmm. Or not. Yeah, or the movie Thanos.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about that fake blood drug thing. Who is
Thanos?
That? Oh, Theranos. Do you remember Elizabeth something?
Oh, jeez.
It was like some weird... Anyway.
Okay. I was looking about the purple 9-foot-tall CGI monster man that made the universe go bye-bye, blinky bye. Yeah, by half. So... I posted that today, and that's not really Trump-related, but it gets the same people.
Yeah, same dynamic.
You know, I posted artwork that's not Trump. Like, I had a character who was like an AR-15, and he'd be like, I'm just a tool. Like,
right, I remember that, yeah.
That's an old one, and that, man, I would get some crazy comments on that one.
Oh, I'll bet. Well, we'll get to that, but let's start like with real general. You have a series. Like Picasso had his blue period. You know, you have like an ass face Trump period, which you
want to start with that one, or you want to start with the? Yeah, I guess we'll start with that. Oh, okay. So the funny thing is, like, I've been drawing political art for years,
right?
But as like on Instagram and getting my name out there and doing stuff and building up a following, the Trump era stuff is obviously more out there. People see it more.
Yes,
I did like. Me and my friend were going to make a book years ago called Dum Dum Goes to the Circus, and it was about George W. Bush.
Oh,
yeah. And it was going to be about like his whole presidency, or at least the first term.
Right.
Because we started working on it like January of 2005 when he got reelected.
Oh, okay.
And it was just like different images of him where he was like this... and I probably talked to you about this before, but it's almost like the Yellow Kid. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like the Yellow Kid is a character that goes all the way back to like late 1800s.
Oh, we did talk about
like
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd just be like George W. Bush, like as a little kid, holding a balloon.
Right.
And the balloon would say different words, and I'd always would cut out him and use the same drawing and have different backgrounds. It had something on the war on terror, on religion, 9/11. It was all these different things. But it's like Instagram wasn't around yet.
Right.
And I think I maybe 50 people seeing this.
Sure.
You know, it's like a different, it's not getting and these are big ass drawings. They're like 20 by, I don't know, it took me forever to do these things.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
But and then I did some drawings with Obama that were kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, was very excited that he won. I can't be excited about everything he did as president.
Oh, the tan suit. I mean,
oh my god, the tan suit. Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Bowing down, licking the a-hole of Iran, according to what a guy said on Fox News.
It was
once.
bad enough when he started praying in that direction 5 times a day, but then when
yeah. But I drew some pictures of that, but they were more funny. It's like him at a comic convention dressed as Spider-Man because he said he likes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's dumb shit like that. And I really didn't do any political artwork for a very long time. Really, I didn't touch any of it. And then once Trump came into the picture and started running for president, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And no joke.
To my sketchbook.
Activate. Political drawing activate. And listen, I ain't gonna lie. People be like, why don't you draw Hillary?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Plus, the emails aren't fun to draw.
Yeah, emails are it's not. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Bed Bath and Beyond emails. Am I gonna or her screaming at her at the caterer for her daughter's.
Yeah.
Was it the wedding or something?
It was
it was around that time period. They said the joke was that most of those emails are probably her screaming at the photographer. Listen here, don't you know what I did to Osama bin Laden? Do you know what I did at Benghazi?
Yeah, right.
When I personally had those when I took a knife with my teeth and cut.
You have a little red going on in that one.
Do you know what I did with that?
I hate
that
rabbits.
intern that the family said, please. The family said to Fox News, please stop using our kids' names in vain.
Right.
What's his name? Seth Rich or something?
Yeah.
Whatever paranoia. I'm not gonna fucking draw her. I drew her one time with black metal face, and I drew her some stuff with her with Trump when they were debating.
Right.
But I never I have a strong position. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
If you've been following me, I always love when people go on my page and they'll say something I can't believe it. I'm like, dude, how long have you been? You must have just found me yesterday, and then I post something. I'm like, it's always these people claiming they've been following me for years. And I'm like, dude, I've been posting political artwork since. Yeah. If you've been following me, I've been posting political artwork pretty much on a regular basis since 2015 on my Instagram page. That's over 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, and you're telling me bullshit. You're a troll bot, or you something snapped in your brain,
or you're a very, very casual Instagram user. And you just stumble across stuff.
Honey, what are you doing? I don't know. Why don't I go check out the old Instagram after going to the Trump rally? Oh my gosh!
What that ass face Trump?
I don't know. Heaven from purgatory. This will not do. I will leave a comment. I will unfollow you.
Debate me, good sir. Debate.
You have lost a follower.
Okay. You have a series of images where the recurring motif is Trump's face is an ass.
Okay, so the funny thing, I cannot make a claim that I am the first ass-faced Trump. I can't say that I found it, but I was an early adopter.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding, because I did it and I posted it, but then I started seeing other artists do it. Right. I don't know where it started or began, but I have. So there was the one I showed you before we started talking, but I did one even earlier than that.
Okay. Yep.
It's not as good as that one, and it was just him with an ass face, and I posted it in 2015 in the summer. So he was already I think he started running around May or June.
Yeah.
So I think by July I posted this picture And I said, I'm like, well, the funny thing about the George W. Bush drawings, when I did those with Dum Dum, they were like more thoughtful and more academic. Like, I was almost like trying too hard to be like I was trying to be more thoughtful. Like, I had like this drawing, one of them was about like the military industrial complex, and it was like George W. Bush in the front, and it said like support our troops, and like I had like all these kids waiting in line, and they're getting older, and then they become military, and then they're just going into the machine at the meat grinder, and then they come out as caskets. And it was like Dick Cheney, John McCain, Joe Lieberman on top as like some three-headed monster.
Yeah, that's a slow burn.
And it took a long time to do. And I was like, and I did it, and it was like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is so thoughtful. And it was like caskets, and it was like a big image. And like I said, 30 people saw it. And then the Trump drawing I did like that night.
Right.
I drew it, posted it on Instagram, got a bunch of quotes, like a huge reaction right away.
Right.
And I think I don't even remember what the original caption was. I just said, this guy deserves no, like, this is just like a repugnant drawing of Trump with like an ass face. I'm like, this is not enough. Like, I feel like the needs to be more or something. But I'm like, again, I'm not a political cartoonist. I'm not drawing something. I was just like, this guy's a fucking asshole. He's a joke. He deserves no more than this. He's saying ridiculous things. His crowd is stupid. People who are eating this up. I mean, anyone who says literally out the gate, I'm gonna build a wall and get another country to pay for the wall.
Right. And
people will either believe it or the fact that he didn't get left on the stage. Well, guess what? You get an ass face drawing.
Yeah.
And you deserve nothing else. You deserve nothing more than that. I'm not gonna go into like geopolitical policies that date back to the Reagan era over this, or like go into like social.
And look, and when people are flipping through, and this is just my own perspective, when people are flipping through Instagram, they're not looking for the New Yorker cartoons.
No,
they want something kind of quick, visceral, easy to digest.
Oh yeah.
And ass face Trump it fits that bill.
And
perfectly.
He had a dick for a tie. And then I realized over the years, I was like, well, I don't want people to think that he has like a big dick.
Right.
So I just made it that he had like a little nub chin. So he had like, it's his ass, and the chin is a ball sack. A hairy ball sack with like little squiggly hairs and veins. And then, but he still has like the deep set eyes.
Right.
And he still has like the teeth like in the anus mouth that he has, because he has like gross... For some reason, he has that gross pink sack eyes, pink sack mouth. Yeah, it's because of the tanning bed thing.
It's gotta be.
I don't even know at this point. It's really bizarre. So I was like, "Fuck it." I'm like, I just drew this, and it got out. And then I think later on, I wanted to do a better version of the ass face Trump. And that's the one that got out. That one got around more. This one's I spent more time on it. It's just a better drawing. Yeah. And I use that one more. I don't ever show the other one. Right. But like I said, I can't claim that I created Ass Face Trump. And Ass Face Trump has shown up in Germany. Oh yeah. Ass Face Trump has shown up like some guy.
The Ukraine.
So yeah. We gotta learn some. Ukraine. I was gonna say Czech. But, Ukraine. Yeah. But I remember some guy in England sent me some pens because he was like, "Oh shit!" It was like a float with the ass face, and like I said, I'm not going to make claim of it. Sure, I just know that I was there in the beginning.
Yes, yeah. Rode that ass faced wave. Well, you have some variations. There's the classic Trump as an ass face. Then you have original recipe, and you have Trump as the ass face. Of an elephant.
Okay, so I did that one closer to the election. Okay. Or as he was starting to win the nomination. And I was like, okay, well, all these people who claimed they were never Trumpers, this bullshit theater that these Republicans were pulling. I was like, no, this is you. You guys are tied together. He's the ass of the elephant. And they are linked. Yeah. And I always repost that one. That one always gets a good response. I've done with him as a pig. Where it's like a pig eating from a trough. And Trump's the ass on the pig.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That one blends better skin tone wise. It's a more realistic image. There's always some poo coming out of the butt or the face.
Often. Yep.
Yeah. But the funny thing about not the original, but the second one, that one got around so much, and I think we talked about this in the podcast, how it ended up at a Women's March 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Someone held up a sign. I don't know how they got the artwork.
Right.
They either bought a print from Society 6, because that was the only place that I was selling it, and they either blew it up, or they bought it. I doubt they bought a big one.
Yeah, right.
Or they literally just took the image from Instagram, blew it up, and who knows, it might look like shit from when you get real close to it.
Yeah.
I only saw someone took a picture of it and it ended up everywhere. It was on RollingStones.com. It was on Rolling Stones Instagram. All the vices. Right. I don't mean like vices like I love chocolate.
Right, like jealousy.
Yeah. Poor Vice cops.
Rage.
Yeah, all the vices. No, I mean like Vice, the billion-dollar
media
organization. Yeah. It's always funny when you find out they're worth that much. You're like, people always kind of like laugh them off or something.
Well,
and then it's like, no, they're pretty fucking big.
Yeah, big and legit.
Yeah. And then so that one got around, and man, I wish I got the credit for that. I contacted Rolling Stones. They ignored me. Jerks. It's like, dude, just credit me. I'm not even asking for money.
Right. Yeah. It probably was like a reproduced, like a photocopied drawing originally, and it looked fine kind of in release, but I'll bet you if you got it closer, it was all like grainy.
Pixel.
Pixel and shit.
Just low res. But at the end of the day, you could tell it was ass-face Trump.
Yeah.
But again, I don't do it for the money.
Right.
Or the fame, or the credit.
Yeah, do it for the lulz.
The
right?
lulz, of course. And then,
dear electric company, enclosed.
Yeah,
please find 7 lulz.
I sent you a check of 7 lulz.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
No. The ass face Trump, I think it's kind of a good place to start because it does.
It's a good place to end too.
Yeah. Well, I see what you did there. It's like pretty recognizable, and it works really well, and it is kind of like buffoonish in the same way that he's a buffoon.
Right. It deserves no.
Right.
Like if someone said to me like, "Oh, this is sophomore," I'd be like,
"Of course."
Yeah. Like, why does?
I am calling him a butthead. After all,
there is no. Like, why does he? He deserves no better.
Yeah.
And I used to get crazy when people would demand the same thing. And I used to say that about George W. Bush when he was president. I mean, he was terrible, but and he was sophomore, but in like a different way. Trump's like on a whole nother level of stupid.
Yeah.
But I used to get like these like supposed conservative intellectuals would get into these battles with you, and you'd be like, "You're defending George W. Bush,
right?
Like,
yeah.
This guy, this is a simple man."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's bizarre. And Trump deserves no better. And I would say that I'm like, I don't care what anyone says. Whoops. There we go.
Yeah.
I would say this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He is a anus face ballsack chin with a nub. And then I drew a bunch of other ones. Like, when the rallies started to get really bad, I drew him as like a Nazi, like a brown shirt.
Yeah, I have that one on my list of things I wanted to talk about too. Nazi Trump.
Okay, so that's a different Nazi Trump you're talking about.
Well, the I'm thinking of, and you can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong.
This is a series of 46 different Nazis.
Well, number 72. And the first one was Trump as like a straight up kind of prison Nazi with all these tattoos on his face. Okay, so that's
later on.
Okay.
That's when he's been president. I did that after Charlottesville.
All right. The other one I'm talking about is him as the Red Skull with these tiny
That's
little
another
hands.
one, too.
Yeah.
That was around the time...
See, it is a series.
Yeah. Well, that's a different... Okay, so there's... The orange skull thing I drew because the guy who created Mouse, Art Spiegelman, he wrote something for Marvel...
Okay.
And they asked him to take it out because he referred to Trump as the Orange Skull.
Yes, I remember.
And he said, "You know what? Don't include me.
Right.
I'm not gonna take it. No. And he released it on the Guardian or some other. It ended up somewhere else.
Sure.
Like his thing, but he's like, I'm not going to be told not to.
Oh yeah.
The problem is Marvel. One of the Ike Perlmutter, who's one of the top guys.
Right.
He's a huge donate. He donates tons of money to Trump.
I remember hearing that and being pretty... I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. I mean, there's plenty of people in...
what's his name? Munition? What's his name?
Steve Mnuchin.
Mnuchin?
Yeah.
Like, his name's on the Lego movie.
Yeah. It is.
It is. Batman Lego movie or the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad.
Right,
I like
yes.
to refer to it because it did win Oscars.
Oh,
he
yeah,
is
yeah.
the producer of that film.
Yeah.
And his name is on it. So,
right. He's such garbage.
Though. Oh, he's the worst. But, yeah, I drew the orange... So I drew him as the Orange Skull after that. And
yeah.
That one I went, like, really cartoony. Like, I didn't do, like, normal proportions.
Right.
It was almost like a Minion version or something.
It
like,
was.
It was
a
little more...
like a Funko version of it or something, you know?
Well, it doesn't look anything like Funko.
Well, it was like...
exaggerated proportions. He has little hands.
Yes.
I drew him as the Red Skull. He's wearing like the little black gloves. His little hands like peeking out.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
And he looks like the Red Skull, but he's orange. And he's got the little pink sack still. He still retains that.
Yeah.
And he's got the coif.
Right.
But that's that's later on. We're going back. And then, like I said, I'm talking about the first one I did with him. It's just a straight up like brown shirt.
Yeah.
See Kyle, like, he's just, that I did around the time when the rallies were, like, getting out of hand.
Right.
When he would tell somebody to punch something.
Like that
old man, when the old man, like, punched the black guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, the guy confronted him after, and, like, I guess they apologized or whatever, but...
Yeah, I remember
ridiculous.
that got big in, I think when he had a rally in Chicago, it started getting pretty out of control pretty regularly.
And he would say shit like, I'll pay for the bills.
Yeah.
And he never paid for the bills.
I mean, he's never paid for any bills.
No, he doesn't pay any bills. They said there's cities that are, like, basically saying, like, you can't come here.
Oh, yeah. You don't pay your bills.
You don't pay your bills, you're not coming here.
Yeah. It's like having a caravan of hobos come to your city.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, so... The Orange Skull. I like that. Look, I like that one a lot because it did work for me on a bunch of different levels.
Well, it's not as propulsive as the ass face ones. It's
right?
More,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, you know what the Red Skull is.
You could show this to a bunch of people.
Yeah, and you
wouldn't feel weird or anything like, and they would
know.
Right.
Like I could show this. At my kid's school.
Yes. Right.
Even though that would still be raising questions.
Yeah.
But less than leave out the perversion.
Right.
The perverse.
Yeah.
And then the other one was again Trump, but cause I did a lot of ass face stuff in the beginning. I kind of moved away from it.
Sure.
Like, it was just getting too much. It's like it gets gross after a while. Like I've done different ones. Like, it got to the point where I was like making him into like a monster. Like when he was debating Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah,
her,
stalking
like,
behind
little,
her.
Like, and there was just their podiums next to each other, little. Like she's just like there, and it just looked like her.
Yeah,
and she just looked miserable. And then I drew Trump next time, and he's just like he looks like fat bastard,
right,
with no shirt on.
And
he's got like. But at this point, I just made him like this monster. Like he wasn't even like in ass face Trump. At least he still had like human proportions. Like,
right.
It was just his head was an ass, and then
but the rest was pretty.
By the 2016 debates, I was like drawing him as like this weird Hulk like blob of a human.
Yeah,
like the tongue would be long, weird venom type tongue coming out of his ass face, like real disgusting. Like
that's funny.
Yeah, it was very funny too. But
well, and I guess we probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but we'll post. I'll repost these images, or we'll repost these images as things on the YSGOAT Instagram.
Right.
But these are all things that they can find on your two main accounts on Instagram.
No. Only on one. I don't post.
Oh, that's right.
I don't post political stuff on the Geek Art.
Right. The Geek Art is strictly like pop culture geek.
Yeah. And like just anything. I just keep the politics out of that one.
That's I get
to.
that.
I need to. It's just better I do that.
Right.
And if somebody someone came on my page one time, they're like, "Oh, I see what you're doing here. Oh, that's not you." I don't know what they said. I was like selling out or something.
Oh,
I was
okay,
yeah, go fuck yourself.
Right.
And walk them. I'm like, get the fuck out. Yeah, you're not keeping it real.
Right.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Go ask your mom for your
Dear
allowance.
electric company, please find enclosed. What?
Do you accept keeping it real?
Yeah, right.
It's like
keeping it real hard.
Skit.
Yeah,
I keep it real. That's like one of the best skits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did like a whole. I'm trying to think. I did like so many different ones of him with the ass face. Like I did one with him, like with Sarah Palin.
Oh,
when she came out and endorsed him, and she was like crazy, and I drew hers like a boob head.
Oh yeah,
like she literally was just a boob, like her head. And my wife suggested that one. She was like, you should just draw like she's just like her head is a boob, and like, she still has the glasses, but she just has like a nipple in the center, and it was just him. And she's a boob. Like that's not sexist. I don't know what the fuck it is, but to say something's a boob is kind of funny.
Right, it is funny. It's hilarious.
And I don't care what you say. You guys, woke culture, whatever it is.
Well, I guess we'll shift gears slightly here because I know this image that I want to discuss next probably came before the orange skull one.
Oh, yeah, that's really recent. So pretty much, that's probably like one of my last like really new Trump drawings. So it's gonna be.
Well, and this isn't a Trump drawing. I was going to ask you about the Hitler 420 image.
Okay, so that goes around. I did that in 2016.
Okay,
before 420.
Okay, and what is the? Do you want to describe the image itself?
So the image. I was thinking about this image for a very long time and drawing it because I started seeing, and it makes total sense with the rise of Trump, the rise of global fascism and neo-Nazism that's been rising.
Right.
That's been, growing in a lot of areas of Europe. And with social media, again, like the soft neo-Nazism that sneaks in on social media. Mm-hmm. And I remember like 420, there was like these images going around of like Hitler, and it was like those deal with it glasses coming down. And I was like, fuck you. You're not gonna like make him hipster.
Right. Hipster Hitler.
Or like
Adolf Hipster.
Yeah, like I when I started working in a company here recently, years ago, I started seeing people like making him almost like he was like a joke.
Yeah.
And
right.
They were using it as like different images. Some other artist, I'm not going to mention his name, and he meant well, but the image, I felt like it didn't matter. The image, out of context, looked bad. Like it was like, it was, if you see it in the series, it makes sense. But if you see it by itself, and because you posted it by itself, it looked bad.
Yeah.
Now I know that person isn't.
Right, of that
like actually
kind.
Very far left and is very... it doesn't even matter. And you guys... I doubt anyone will know what the fuck I'm talking about. But regardless, it was things like that that inspired this image. And I was like, okay, well, as a person, Jewish descent, my last name's Israel.
Right, yep.
Kind of take it a little personally. But I also take all bigotry personally. Yeah. I always say this. I'm always like... I get annoyed when, like, people... Like, there's, like... I grew up with, like... I knew some people who were conservative Jewish people, and I was like, listen, again, it's like I don't mind people who do conservative. Like if you have some like,
sure.
But when you start like using it as like a way to be a bigot, like Ben Shapiro's a type that I don't know this guy, I don't know anything about him, but he's a type he uses his. It's almost like he's using his Judaism or his Orthodox Judaism as the way like a bigot evangelical uses it too. It's like he has the same hatreds as they do too.
Yeah.
And it's like usually, but I grew up in a Reformed temple.
Okay.
So we're like the hippies, I guess, even though we're not, but like.
Relatively speaking.
We're like, I mean, it's like, what's like a Unitarian church?
Yeah.
Like, think of like that. I mean, Reformed Judaism is like, you go to like a conservative temple, that's like the next step. Mm-hmm. Girls came and be bat mitzvah. Like, I went to a friend's bat mitzvah growing up, and like, they couldn't even, because bar mitzvahs were always, bat mitzvah was like this new thing.
Sure, yeah.
And I think like Reformed temple started, and they could be bat mitzvah on a Saturday.
Okay.
It's not a true tradition. It goes back to like when Abraham tried to sacrifice his son or something.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Because he was like almost like caveman that ate dirt. And he was going to sacrifice his son. So I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
The 420 image.
So I'm talking about like growing up, knowing like the bigotry towards Jewish people, or the bigotry towards, you grew up knowing about the Holocaust, you grew up knowing about all these different horrible things happening to Judaism. I'm always like, okay, well, you should be sensitive toward, as a Jewish person, you should be sensitive towards all religions, all minorities, gay people, trans people.
The other. Yeah.
The other. Anyone's considered the other because we're the other too.
Right.
We're not part of it. And it was like the one thing I saw recently was a lot of people that have been going to these detention centers are actually the leftist Jews.
Huh.
And they don't get it's like the media doesn't want to, the mainstream news doesn't want to showcase these people, even though 80% of Jewish people in the United States don't want kids in cages.
Yeah.
They don't like what Israel's doing.
Right.
But they don't, the mainstream media doesn't want to sell that. It's like they want to sell and think that Jews fully support everything Israel does. They want to, it's like, it's disgusting what the mainstream media does. So it drives me nuts as a Jewish person to see all this stuff, and I start seeing like Hitler becoming almost like this fucking, almost like a cartoon.
Yeah, like a caricature.
And like, no, you can't have that. Like, you can't have him be like, I mean, there's ways to do it, and there's other ways.
Of course, yeah.
But seeing it on social media and seeing like the Hitler thing with the class saying "get over it" or deal with it, I was like, "Fuck you!" It's like this difference. So I drew a picture. I had a different idea I was going to do it. Originally, it was just going to be Hitler like resting against the wall.
Sure.
And it was splattered against the wall. It says "Happy 420."
Okay. Yeah.
And because his birthday is 420.
Right. Coincidentally.
And that is also, what is that? The call sign for the marijuana.
Yeah. It means to start smoking marijuana. Yes.
Right. And so 420 is just like become like almost like a holiday, just like the way May the 4th be with you.
Right.
Batman Day, National Donut Day, all these different days. It was 420. Yeah. So I said, I'm going to post, and then I was originally going to do that, and then I said, fuck it, I'm going to post another, I had a funnier image. I was like, this isn't that funny.
Right.
And I was thinking, okay, it's Hitler, and he blew up the top of his skull. And in his, so you still see the mustache, but everything on the top is blown out.
Right.
And whatever's remaining of his head, his brains, the letters form the word Happy 420.
Yeah.
And his eyeballs are cartoonishly floating because somehow they survived.
Yeah, they didn't disintegrate.
They must look like googly eyes at this point. They're resting on the head stump next to the 420.
Yeah.
He's holding the gun up. I posted that and I just said kind of like, I don't remember the caption, what I said exactly. You guys can go deep search if Instagram didn't.
Yeah.
They pulled down almost every one of my 420 ones. I just basically said, like, with the rise of like fascism going on or whatever, like this, we can't condone this shit.
No.
Fuck this guy. Fuck, this is what happens in the
Yeah.
This is a march to death. You don't win this way. Like,
right.
You don't this is not a healthy way to live.
Yeah.
Like,
it isn't. But you
blowing the top of your head off. I'm kidding.
Of course not.
That's not a healthy way to live.
Yeah.
Doctors will agree. 9 out of 10 doctors will say blowing the top of your head off is really not good for you.
Yeah. It is. It's a tough issue to address, I guess. But you can do it. You know, I mean, like the whole like this type of dynamic. It's tough to put into like a single frame.
Well, and the thing was, like, I wanted that image out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want this image out in the public. I want people to share it.
Yes.
And it's like, it's not, and I've gotten it taken down because it's like a violent image or something. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So it's fucking Hitler. And it's cartoonish to play.
It's cartoonish.
But I would get people would leave these crazy comments. And my favorite comment, though, of all time was, one, the gun was wrong or something that I used. And the other thing was that the blood splatter was wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the other one's like, that's not what would happen. The eyes wouldn't be sitting there like that. Right. And I just like wrote back with just like the nerd emoji, and they got mad at me, and I was just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, this is stupid. I shouldn't, like, the fact that you wrote this is insane.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, first of all, it's like a skater graphic. Like, it's like super gnarly looking.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to make it look like as like this could be on a skateboard.
Right.
Like,
that's a good way of putting it.
I want this to look like bright, colorful. The blood, it's not really deep red. It's like a neon pink. I want it to like I want people to see this image. I made stickers of it. It did very well.
Okay,
I haven't made new ones, but I do have T-shirts in my store of it.
Nice.
In my TeePublic and Society 6.
There's a sale going on today, too.
Yeah, there is. But by the time
sure.
it airs, it doesn't matter. There's always sales. TeePublic always has sales.
They do. Yeah.
But every year I'll do a new version of that drawing.
Oh.
But every time I do it, it gets pulled down. So I did the second year. I reposted the drawing,
okay.
But I added a trippy tie-dye background.
Okay.
To make it more psychedelic for 420.
Yeah, I get it. I like it.
And then I did another year, and this is when it got pulled down, where I took my neckbeard guy.
Yeah.
And I kind of just, like, had him in the corner.
Right.
Saying, like, all the dumb comments that people leave.
Sure.
And, like, he starts talking about George Soros. And, like, and that got kicked off, and then I just... so, I don't know if I'll post it again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just don't want my account get taken down.
Sure.
But I posted it before. I reposted it, and I've literally left comments, like, saying, Instagram, do not pull this down. I'm not endorsing Nazism.
No.
This is clearly not an endorsement, I would say, and I'm not condoning any of the stuff. This is satire. Mm-hmm. And they actually have not pulled down any recent ones. I'm sure if anyone's listening to that, they're like, yeah.
Well, so much of it's driven by, like, reporting. You know, like, if someone gets upset and they report it.
And I just block people now. I mean, and the funny thing about a lot of these people, they're compelled to leave a shitty comment.
Yeah. They can't help it.
They can't help it. It's like a Roach Motel. And I use those posts as, like, Roach Motels. Like, I'll post something political. And sometimes it's, like, really stupid. Like, the other day I posted, like, that Kanye drawing.
Right, yeah.
I did this Kanye drawing originally when he started coming out supporting Trump.
Yeah.
And the joke was that, in my mind, was the whole idea is to trim the fat. Mm-hmm. So if, like, you post something that people don't agree with or whatever, fine. Like,
yeah.
You know, you've been doing what you've been doing, and if all of a sudden, or someone's like, what the hell? Like, well, then why you shouldn't be following me, or you should have known this for years by now, whatever. Mm-hmm. But what I was saying about Kanye was, you're doing the opposite. You're supporting Trump.
Yeah.
And it's like, almost like your bones, the thing that holds you up, you're giving that up. For Trump, I don't know if that's giving him an effect. I don't pay attention to his sales. I have no idea how he does.
Okay.
I don't think it's actually affected him. I see people still kissing his ass.
Right.
But regardless, to me, it was just like, why would you endorse Trump? This is like such a bad move on a bad optics. It's like, you know, what was it like? And it's him, like, now it's just like this blob of jelly with a MAGA hat on, and like you see his skeleton in the distance, and he's just like, you know, he's kind of like slithering away from his bones, and then like his brain is like left behind him. And people get super pissed on that one. I get these people who are like, someone will say like, what's your right to say anything about Kanye? And then someone wrote, well, he has every right. What's your right to say that he can't say something about Kanye?
Yeah, I've never understood that logic.
Like, I'm not allowed to. Like, he's not the king.
No,
like he's just some fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, and then and the reason why I started reposting it recently because that stupid album you put out. Like this, like, I don't know what it is.
It's a tough one to categorize.
Well, someone like posted an image of him, and again, to me, it like glorified him, and I was like, stop glorifying this asshole.
Yeah.
So I like reposted it. I basically said, stop supporting people who are shitty. Mm-hmm. Stop supporting people who support shitty people. Like,
none of this is rocket science.
Like, it's like the same thing. It's like global warming. Stop support. It's like the fire's going on.
Right.
I posted some image recently. Oh, I posted another ass face Trump. This was the most recent one I did. I did it last year when Paradise burnt down in California.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
And he showed up to California with his stupid hat on. He was wearing like an outfit, his little uniform that he was wearing. And he literally said, in the ruins of Paradise, he's like, should have raked the leaves. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what a heartfelt... You know, it's like, as much as I hate George W. Bush, at least when he went down to 9/11 and stood up on the pile,
he
didn't say something like, I don't know, like,
no.
you should have made sure your buildings were built better. Clearly, you were using Trump as a...
Trump building supplies?
Yeah. It's like, he said the right things. It's like, clearly it was written for him, whatever. But he goes out there and he says this, like, idiotic thing, and it's like, should rake the leaves. It's like, it's so stupid.
It is.
And so I made that drawing of him where he's just like, you should have raked the leaves. And so I posted it back then because my son was born in Paradise, actually.
Right, yeah.
Because we was near Chico. And he was born in the hospital. It was the neighboring town. So we used to go there a lot. So I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know what it's like now, but man, it was burnt to a cinder last year.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And I mean, like, there was aerial footage. It was like houses were just footprints.
Yeah, like a bomb went off or something.
It was hell on earth. And you see this fucking guy go there. He was with Gary Newsom, current governor.
Okay.
He wasn't governor yet. Is it Gary Newsom? Is that
that sounds familiar.
And then Governor Jerry Brown.
Yes.
To your town.
His aura smiles and never frowns.
Come for your uncle niece.
Yeah. What a great song, right?
California.
Yeah. My wife and I were at I forget where we were. We were at like a nice place in Michigan on vacation with our family or whatever. And it was like the guy choosing the music was in my head or whatever. And one song he did was California Uber Alles, and I found myself singing along to it, like with the little vibrato.
Well, he became governor again after Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to California, I was living in Chico. He came to to Chico. He graced us.
Yeah,
and,
Joe Biafra.
And I had, no, not Joe Biafra, Jerry Brown.
Oh, okay. I thought
Joe Biafra was there singing.
I mean,
That's his campaign song. You know what? I didn't like it back in 1980, but I love it now.
Yeah, right.
I think it's really grown on me in the past 30 years. No, but Baby Roger was with me.
Oh, nice.
Strapped to my back. So Jerry Brown. And then the day he won, I was like always listening to this radio station, and like the guy like played California.
Oh, that's funny.
It was like the funniest thing, and I was like, but it was like, regardless of what you think, Jerry Brown's gonna be a better governor than fucking Schwarzenegger,
clearly.
and he was gonna be better than the eBay lady.
Right,
that was the woman that was running, the eBay lady.
There's a bunch of people that were a little strange that were running.
Well, you're talking about the goof. You're talking about the crazy race. I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're right. I take that back.
I'm not talking about the nightmare Hollywood coup of like 100 cast of 100. Mary Carey. And,
that was great.
And,
Mary Carey was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, and Different Strokes. Gary Coleman.
Oh yeah, Gary Coleman.
One of his taglines.
Is he alive?
No, he died. He died like years ago.
Yeah. All of them did, right? Todd Bridges.
No, Todd Bridges is alive.
Oh, Todd Bridges.
He's alive.
Wow.
He's kicking. Everyone
Dana
else.
Plato's the other. Yeah, she died.
She had a tough life.
Yeah, she did.
She was in that Night Trap video game, though. Do you
know
that
no.
Night Trap?
No, I don't.
It was at first. Well, it was one of these weird games that like it was supposed to be interactive games.
Okay.
And it never got released. And then it was like made in the 80s. And then like Sega CD came out, and I remember getting it, and like it got all this controversy because like they finally released these like games that were made finally. Yeah. They like Sega CD's like, yeah, fuck it, we'll put it out. We need some shit because it was like old video, and it was like the big deal. It's like, look, we could show video interactive games, and
it
was like this weird stalker soft porn game starring Dana Plato. Oh, okay, but I think we're so Gary Newsom, Jerry Brown, and Mr. Poopy Pants, Trumpy Dumpy, were standing in the ruins, and they're just sitting in the background trying not to crack up.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that they should have raked, and I drew that drawing. Oh. You know, again, just like everything, people like thanked me for it, and then I'd get some people who are like, think I'm the worst person in the world.
Yeah, I would have to say like your political art probably comes out in the wash at the end, because I'll bet you your average fan that's not like super politically engaged, I'll bet you they're just fine with it, right? Yeah. Like more or less. Yeah. And then you probably have a third of your people that really like it. Yeah. And then you have a third that don't like it.
But the people who don't like it, and this isn't like a fucked up thing, and I tell this to people too, like just don't be afraid to block some of these people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes these they're troll accounts, they're these weird private accounts, and they'll leave ridiculous. They'll leave I'm very good at spotting trolls. People would say I was getting pissed, but the Tulsi thing was a good example.
Right? Yeah, that's
Kamala
true.
Harris, when she said that, everybody was regurgitating this Tulsi destroyed Kamala thing, and I was like, those are troll bots.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it because I've seen it on my page, so I have a really good understanding, and I've dealt with it personally.
Right.
And I'm good at deleting them and spotting them.
And you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. So I've noticed it, and they come out in the middle of the night. And do you remember too? The same thing happened again recently with the Tulsi thing, when Hillary Clinton came out and said that she was a Russian plant or a Republican plant.
Right.
Well, everybody was posting it, but then that middle of the night,
right,
when everyone's sleeping in the USA,
sure,
all of a sudden something started trending on Twitter around probably 4 a.m.
Yeah,
when people are working on the other side of the world.
Right.
I'm with Tulsi or I am Tulsi.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
Everyone was this is clearly a troll account.
Yeah.
So when I post artwork, one of the things I noticed was jumping around Trump's presidency with my artwork here, but the Helsinki, I call it the Helsinki disaster. It's when Trump was on stage with Putin.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remember watching this and being mortified. And I was like, oh my God, because you had the Mueller investigation going on. I was like, why do we need to investigate this fucking guy?
Yeah.
He's colluding with Putin on stage.
Right. This
he
doesn't
was
seem
agreeing with him. Putin was regurgitating the same talking points that I've seen troll accounts say.
Yeah.
I saw, it was the most insane thing. So I made this artwork of, Trump as, a naked, fat little dog. A weird little dog.
Yeah.
Like a pug almost.
Right.
But he was orange and his little smirky face, and Putin's holding him on his lap with his thumb up his ass.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I posted that and I said something about that, and people were loving it or whatever. Sure. I got a couple of haters, whatever, that day, but most of them were "This is great. Yeah, what a fucking piece of shit. Yeah. Impeach him, blah blah." But then all of a sudden, the next day. Because it was either they didn't know, they had to recoup. They're this is a fucking disaster. We need to come up with things to say. All of a sudden, all the troll bots, the next day, not the day I made it.
Right.
And I posted it early in the day. I'm talking about almost 18 hours later.
And that's a time.
I started getting inundated by Russian trolls. And people were oh, you're paranoid. I'm no, I'm not. It's it was like clockwork.
Yeah.
And they were saying they were all saying kind of the same bullshit memes. And
they work off of scripts, right? I
mean,
there's a playbook that they go through, and there's a whole bunch of them. It's just a business.
I started getting into an argument with one of them.
Right.
And I learned not to get into an argument with them because they literally... I was talking to some person who told me about this, and they said basically they're working on a computer, so they're just Googling shit.
Yeah.
They're not... I forgot what I said. Well, this guy's name was Punch a Nazi. He claimed to be called Punch a Nazi.
Cool.
And
so far, so good.
He had a page, and he looked he had... It wasn't a private account. He was a person, or so he was.
Sure.
And, I think he started out as a private account, and then eventually, after the conversation, I'll make your account on private because I think you're a troll.
Right.
I think, because he started getting really weird and specific. This wasn't a normal, he was claiming he was a Bernie supporter, but it was really bizarre. I don't remember the conversation 100%, but it was just I would come at him with something, and he would come back with a really weird defense.
Yeah.
And then it would always lead back to Clinton or whatever.
And you can only do that so long.
It was a Clinton thing or something. But then I started bringing up some other stuff. And then I brought up something about the Cossacks or something. Because my family, I'm Russian, actually. I'm 75% Russian.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I am a bot.
What?
Oh, my God.
Which is why I'm voting for Tilson.
Yeah, what is Islam? Springs start coming out of me. That's how I know how to detect them. It's in my blood.
DNA.
No, but my family came here basically to escape. Jewish people in Russia don't have a good history. You can go back and look. And it goes back many years. I think the Protocols of Zion, were they created in Russia?
No.
That's
were
the
they?
late 1800s. That's the kind of shit that That's kind of shit that led to like Nazism and everything. They used protocol science.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like basically saying that Jewish people like drinking blood or something. It was like the most insane anti-Semitic
thing. If it weren't so deadly serious, it would be comical because it's just like clearly bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, like if you go to somebody's house and they have Mein Kampf, be aware, be alert.
Right.
But they have a copy of Protocols of Zion next to it. Get the fuck out, or you're a Nazi.
Right.
It's like, what's the old line they said? If 10 people are sitting with a Nazi and they're listening to him, then they're all Nazis or something like that. Then you have 11 Nazis.
Yeah. And I think that's true. I mean, like, I don't know.
It's like the whole argument. They always say, like the right, like extreme right, alt-right, they would pass around this meme, like, what was it, the so-called tolerant left?
Yeah, the so-called, yeah.
And it was just like, if I'm not going to tolerate your intolerance. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
We're not gonna have a debate over, like, if you're, like, someone pointed out, like, the thing about like socialism versus like fascism and like alt-right or whatever. It's like, we want to make everything better for people. It's like, how's the word? I could accept you. Like, I wish I remember the phrasing. It was really good. Like, if I could get you on the right path or whatever, we may not be friends, we might not like have dinner together, but like you're a fellow human being,
right? And maybe you're coming closer to some sort of mutual understanding,
right? But if I accept what you want, your end game is for my death.
Yeah,
my end game is for you to not kill people.
That's 100% the case.
It's like Antifa, like when they try to attack Antifa. It's like Antifa is a reactionary group. Antifa doesn't show up and attack things. No. It's when the Proud Boys or the, like, whatever alt-right neo-Nazi bullshit shows up in, like, Portland, that you have a reactionary group. It wasn't Antifa showed up to Charlottesville.
No.
It was a reactionary group. It's insane.
It is. It's frustrating to kind of explain because, like, it is so obvious that, I don't know, that's a tough one.
I don't know where I was going.
Yeah.
But, the artwork. Oh, detecting trolls.
Yes.
So this guy who punched a Nazi, he started getting like real specific. And then I said something about my family, and he said something back that was like, okay, you're not who you say you are.
Right. Was it like
It was something very specific Russian history.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, who knows? Maybe I'm dealing with a Russian lit. Or
sure.
Something. I don't know. But I was like, okay, you're not who you are. Block. You need to go. And there's been studies on this. Like, and when people say that the Russia thing, like, there's people who, yes, does it get overused a bit to claim something's a Russian bot? Like, I don't agree with that it's a Russian bot. That's the new gaslighting.
Yeah, I could.
But there is some truth to it. Yeah, not everything is a Russian bot.
Absolutely.
But there are Russian bots.
There are 100% of Russian bots. I mean, like, look, I go on Twitter sometimes, and I will see what accounts are saying, and if it's a political post, there's almost always, I don't know, half dozen accounts that they were opened up 7 years ago, but they have like 3 posts and no friends.
And the faces are, they said they generate faces.
Right.
Like, they're not even like real people.
No, you just pull them off of Facebook or something.
No, they like, some of them are faces are actually generated.
Oh, like literally. Okay,
yeah, like it's like just a mishmash. I mean,
that's cool, I guess.
You could do that in Photoshop very easily. I could move your eyes onto a different head, and now I got a new person.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't, that's something I've been dealing with, and I detected on my page, but I feel like we jumped around a lot with the artwork.
Yeah.
So going back to the Hitler 420.
Yes, the Hitler. That's where this began. Was Hitler 420?
Okay, but and getting pulled down. I've gotten that image pulled down a bunch of times.
Well, it is it's not a violent image in that it's calling for violence. It's a picture of a Hitler with his brains blown out, which is like
But it's ridiculous because it says what formed in his brains Happy 420.
Yes,
which is hysterical.
Yeah. And it is cartoonish. I mean, it's not like a photorealistic.
No.
Right, yeah. Autopsy photo or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, 2 big, goofy eyeballs. Like,
just
it looks
hanging
like,
there.
It's like Cookie Monster or something. But horrible Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Like a Cookie Monster of pain. Yeah. Well, that is it's an interesting one, and it gets taken down a lot. I always often I'll see you post something.
Okay, so then the Trump is a Nazi one,
the one where it's like covered, a prison tat.
Okay, so yes. I've done different prison tattoo drawings.
Okay. You have a great Ned Flanders.
Yeah, that's the first one I did. Yeah, and that's been bootlegged.
Yep,
I've caught people
recently. Hasn't
it? Well, like earlier this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I did it with with the rest of the Simpsons characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that.
You could get a print of it on my page.
Nice.
Hit me up.
Attractive offer.
Yep. Hit me up. And then I did ones like with Rick and Morty, and I think I did some other characters. But then like the Charlottesville one, when Charlottesville happened and Trump basically, it's like the same thing with him going to Paradise. Right. This guy doesn't know how to be president. He can't say anything right. He can't just say something like...
He ruins every moment.
It's like and it's like that's what he's designed to do. Mm-hmm. It's like he's just this horrible... But the fucked up thing is there's people who are like, yes. They like...
Oh,
It like he literally feeds into the people's worst impulses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what he's doing. And he's just... It's like red meat to his base. It's the worst impulses. And... He said that there were good people on both sides at the Charlottesville riot. The place where a woman was innocently killed by a neo-Nazi who backed up his car at full speed and smashed into not just her, but a bunch of other people who got really hurt. He's in jail for life.
Well, it's a miracle more people weren't
killed.
Killed.
She was killed. Mm-hmm. Heather Hayes, or
I want to say Heather Thomas.
And her mom. No, it's like Heather. Yeah, but her mom's like had to move. I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah,
it's like the same thing. Like the same thing. You get these people. Like there's been people who've been desecrating her grave.
Yeah,
it's like what the fuck is wrong with you? People are fucked up.
That is absolutely true.
It's like this woman's dead. She was just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
She got hit.
Yeah,
by this fucking cretin. This fucking, and the fucked up thing is like these like neo-Nazis like Richard Spencer and stuff like that, they're indoctrinating, like basically the way I see it, it's like he is no different than like someone from ISIS.
Oh yeah.
Like
right,
you could say like you have these like rich people in the Middle East that they're indoctrinating poor people to do their bidding, like blow themselves up.
Right.
Things. Well, Richard Spencer is going out there, he's a real rich boy. Trust fund baby. And he's getting people riled up, indoctrinating white people, telling them that they're taking your job away. They're doing classic classic Nazi shit, blaming the other for your problem.
Oh yeah.
And he's fine. He's gonna be fine in the end, no matter what. He has no. He will be financially okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't speak for him personally on an emotional level
or
anything like that, but on a just a financial fundamental way, he'll be okay. I don't know, maybe, who knows?
Probably.
Yeah. Regardless, he's still indoctrinating kids of a lower economic class.
Yeah, that's just creepy.
Playing off of this selling, Fox News, like before Trump was even running for president, they posted that thing about, and this was like old time, like white people are disappearing, like. Remember that? Like, white people are going away or something, and it's like that's like the beginning of it. Like to me, it's like that's where I started to see more of it.
Yeah,
and then you see the Charlottesville thing, and you see all these people like who are on the internet. They're on 8chan or 4chan,
4chan,
all these other groups, and they're there now in public, and it's like they're like there's like one guy I remember he like tried changing his clothes.
Oh, okay.
And he got caught on camera. They're like, "What are you doing? Keep your white polo on." And he's like, "No, I was just here. I was just goofing." They're like, "No,
no,
you're not." And then it's like that one idiot is like, "Dude, you're in jail for life."
Yeah,
good job. And this one guy I worked with, what did he say? I said something like, I didn't say like waste potential. I just said like, what a waste of a life. And he goes,
"Oh yeah."
And he looks at me, and he goes, "Was it really a waste of a life?"
Well, okay.
I mean, what was this guy doing?
Fair point.
Like, jerked off 2 times that day, watched some anime,
right, yeah,
said something horrible on the internet,
owned a lib,
thought he did, and it was kind of funny, but regardless, it's like, it's like, good job, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
nice work.
You didn't have to do that, and well, one, it's like someone's dead and a bunch of people got hurt.
Yeah.
And in the end of the day, it's like that guy, that piece of shit, Dylan Roof.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, Dylan Roof. He's
the one who went to the black church and shot a bunch of people.
Yes.
And cops escorted him into the cop car.
It's crazy, yeah. Yeah, that would not have happened to maybe someone else.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, the inverse. If that was the inverse.
Yeah.
It would be quite the opposite.
I guess that's a good place to shift gears, because a lot of your artwork, too, kind of touches on that, not like a Dylan Roof character, but like the neckbeard character is what I'm thinking of.
Well, the neckbeard to me is not really, like, the way I see the neckbeard character.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up, because to me, like, the guy, I forgot his name, the one who was serving jail time. Like, Dylan Roof's like a complete psychopath.
Yeah.
He did this, I hate when they say lone wolf, because he still was indoctrinated.
Oh, he had a whole
You could
support
say the
system,
same guy who did, what was it, in Norway? The guy who killed him on the island?
Right.
There's a great movie on Netflix about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot. It was like a big name director who did it. I think the guy who did, like, Flight 93.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the guy, he was... He did it alone, but he was part of... He interacted with people on the far right of that, and he had a political agenda, that's what he was trying to do, and Dylan Roof was trying to do the same thing. He's a complete psychopath, but it's part of a political agenda. He just wanted to go and kill a bunch of people. He was trying to start something, and he wanted to be the poster boy for it.
Right. Very few of these people kind of come out in a vacuum.
But this guy at the Charlottesville thing, to me, he is the closest thing to the neckbeard character.
Oh, yeah.
To me, the neckbeard character is more just like, she's a dumbass who is on like 8chan.
Well, describe the neckbeard.
Okay, so the neckbeard character was just like a joke on. Well, one, again, making fun of the people who comment on my Instagram, who leave these horrible comments, and I would go on their Instagram page and I would see what they look like. And then I started seeing the neckbeard thing kind of going around as like a goof.
It's pretty funny.
Like the lady with the what do you call it? That hat.
What is that?
Fedora.
Yes.
The milady thing.
Yeah. Well, didn't you do an album cover for
we'll get to that in a sec.
Okay,
so
sure.
The neckbeard drawing was just kind of like a joke. And then people were like saying that I was stereotyping. And then this one guy sent me a picture, no joke, of a guy who looked exactly like that drawing, holding a Pepe the Frog birthday cake, smiling with his Make America Great hat or shirt.
Right.
The guy was happy as shit.
Oh, I'll bet you it felt good, man.
He looked exactly like my fucking drawing. It was insane. And the guy was laughing his ass off. I posted on my Instagram and I said, all you fucking people say I'm stereotyping.
Yeah, here's what I got.
Yeah,
here's what I got to work with.
And this is like... and the funny thing is, I could go into like the Pepe Frog thing. Like, I think his name's Matt Fury, the guy who created it.
I think so, yeah.
But it's like, dude, I'm sorry, that character is like should be burned in a fire. Like
been
he should be
contaminated.
Kerosene.
Yeah.
You should never try to license it out. He tried killing. He did kill it. Like he did kill it, and then he tried to bring it back. He did win a lawsuit against Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Because Alex Jones was making a poster and selling it, and it had a bunch of characters on it, but it had Pepe on it, so he was able to go after him on that.
That's funny.
To me, that's like an easy target.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Low
there's so many
fruit.
people bootlegging. There was a guy who made like a book with Pepe the Frog. Like he was trying to make a kid's book.
Nice.
Like this fascist kid's book or something. And like, I think he was able to get that shut down too. Yeah, he was able to shut that down too.
Oh.
But man, it was like, that shit is contaminated.
Yeah.
Anytime I see somebody who starts following me and they have a little Pepe the Frog icon,
done.
I block them. I usually do because I'm just like, ooh.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't be using that. And I'd get people who would be like, no, man, that's just a funny thing that was on, like, 4chan. I'm like, no. Yeah, maybe it started as a joke.
Well,
but
yeah.
It's not.
I think you have to either acknowledge, like, art is this powerful thing or it's not. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, and to say, like, well, I'll just put these things out there and I'm not going to take any responsibility for it or not.
Well, the fucked up thing is it's not the creator of it's fault.
That
That was a meme that started, literally somebody took a panel from one of his comics, or a character saying like it feels good, man.
Feels good, man.
And then it built off of that. It took a life of its own, and then eventually morphed into the alt-right icon.
Internet's so weird, but that's exactly my understanding
Big
of it.
Chungus. You know what that is?
I don't think
okay. Oh, you're not fully in depth on.
I don't know.
Okay, so Big Chungus is Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
But it's not, and people. So I remember this as a kid growing up.
Right.
Old ass Bugs Bunny cartoon. I'm talking like early 40s Bugs Bunny.
Right.
Remember when Elmer Fudd was like fat? Like,
yeah.
There's Elmer Fudd that we know with the big head, but Elmer Fudd looked more like an eggplant back in the day. Like he was just like fatter and like
he's schlubby.
Yeah. It was like he So there's a scene where Bugs Bunny literally morphs into Elmer Fudd for 1 second.
Okay.
And he turns into Elmer Fudd, but he still looks like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
So he's like fat, and it's like really funny. So again, 70-something years later, somebody puts an image out there, calls it Big Chungus, and just blows up on the internet as fat Bugs Bunny. And people don't know. It's just like this dumb thing created by a guy who's probably been dead for 50 years.
Huh. That's funny. I'll have to check that out.
And it just takes on a life of its own.
Right.
So the neckbeard guy, to me, the guy who hit the woman
in Charlotte,
it's like that's him.
Oh,
he's the neckbeard guy. He's an idiot. It's like he shouldn't like. I'm like, would he have done something horrible if he didn't do something horrible that day? Who knows?
Right, but odds are good.
He was obviously a piece of shit. I think there's been other cases about him. I don't think he was like this innocent guy who just fell into this. No, there's supposedly. They found other things about him. He was a total piece of shit, but not like a. But to me, like that's where the neckbeard guy. It's like he's just this douchebag. He probably owns an AR-15.
Probably,
and he probably shows it on Instagram or on Reddit or whatever.
Sure.
And he loves like video games, but like he hates the libs, and he has like a Pepe pen. So I started posting it as a joke, and it got like great reaction. People like I said and then found the picture. And then eventually, I would post it once in a while. And like I said, then I paired it with the Hitler drawing.
Okay, good.
I paired it with Trump and Putin, where he's like he represents like the guy, the troll on the internet. Like, well, George Soros said.
Right.
Like, he's got all the talking points. So, I think it was the 1-year anniversary of Charlottesville. These idiots thought they were going to do, was it the 1-year anniversary of Charlottesville? It was something they were gonna like have. Yeah, it might have been the 1-year anniversary. Okay. They were gonna go to Washington D.C.
Oh wow!
And they did, but like no one was there because they knew that they were gonna get their asses kicked, or the city wasn't gonna tolerate it. Like I think they wouldn't escort them on the subway. They weren't gonna give them any like.
Right.
So like hardly anyone showed up to it, but I basically just made. That's it. I did one other thing. I did because. The extreme right wing. You ever heard of NPCs?
The non-player character.
Well, that started out as a joke, but then again they co-opted it and they started making all these fake liberal troll accounts.
Right. Yeah.
And it'd be like, Orange Man bad. 001, and they're just trying to make it like that. We don't think freely. We have no original thought. We're just saying what the media tells us to, even though they're being told to do what their media tells them. I mean, it's like my head explodes thinking about it. I'm like. It's like, they'll say, like, you're just thinking what the media tells me. I'm like, what? Where are you getting yours from? Breitbart? Like, get the fuck out of here. So I made this thing called neckbeard players.
Right, okay.
And it was like a joke, like, NBC. Or
okay.
Like, people could put them as icons and make, and I had like a I had a Darth Maul one. Because they're making fun of like the Last Jedi ones.
Yeah,
they always love Darth Maul.
Well, yeah, he's a big star.
Very thoughtful character. A lot of
context.
A lot of stuff. I mean, not minus Clone Wars. He is really cool in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But and just different ones like QAnon. Fedora one, or I call them Milady. And I just remember people like loved it. Some people were using it. Like it was just like 9 of them. I had like the Pepe one. It was just him with face paint. a Pepe face paint. It was like all different ones. Classic neck beard.
Right.
Classic racist neck beard. Black metal.
No, okay. There you go.
So, and then I started getting one of my favorite one is when right when you're asleep things like the left can't meme. That's their that's one of their troll lines they use. The left can't meme.
That's one of their last lines, though.
Well,
like yeah,
that and Orange Man Bad.
Right, that's a good one.
Which I always found hysterical because it's like okay, so it's gone to the point where you can't defend him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you say Orange Man Bad. You're
right,
like like what do you recognize he's a piece of shit?
That's a tough one to figure.
But yeah, it's like
you can't get a piece of the logic just sort of slips out of your hand like soap in a bathtub or something.
Can't hold on to it.
No.
So I released that, and then when the Charlottesville happened, when I made a parade of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember that one.
I put Trump in the middle.
Yeah.
And my favorite were the comments I would get when people would leave comments going like, "I could smell that. I smell that image." It was like a really comment. So then I got contacted by the guy from Neckbeard Death Camp.
Right, which is a band.
They're like a black metal band.
Yeah.
Like they're like kind of like a reactionary black metal band because I guess like the whole joke, like unfortunately, like a lot of black metal has, I guess, I'm not like super familiar on it, but they've been supposedly co-opted or have always been. There's always been like an extreme fascist, almost like racist, probably more racist.
Yeah.
Like, and they're kind of like the opposite, and like.
I think that's probably true. That reading is probably.
And we talked about, he's like, I want to use this for a poster, so I modified it a bit, just put their logo on it, so that was kind of cool.
Right.
So the Neckbeard guy, I'll bring him out once in a while. Like I said, remember I did that comic.
Oh yeah.
I was going to do another one recently, where, crap, I don't even remember what I was going to do. It was just like making fun of. It was like him looking on the phone, and it was gonna be like his thumbs.
Okay.
And, it was like gonna be like a guy reacting to my artwork.
Oh,
and getting mad at me for like posting something.
Right, honey.
Like or just honey, that's some loser. Or something. There's no honey usually.
That's true. Fair point.
Or just a jar of honey.
Yeah.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
Mom,
pizza rolls. and more hand moisturizer. Honey, why do you put hand moisturizer on your pizza rolls?
How many tissues do you need?
Did you get the hand-tied porn?
Yeah, right? Mom, I need my socks washed again.
I told you I can't wash it 6 times a day. You just got to throw them out and get new ones.
Maybe we should move on from this.
Okay, so let's move on.
All right, well, so we've kind of like covered mostly Trump stuff and Nazi stuff, which is
all the good stuff.
Overlap. So
there's a good overlap.
Earlier was one of my favorite images is the Richard Spencer getting punched in the face image.
The funny thing about that one,
right? Well, and that has a little peppy in it. So
the fucked up thing is that the day when he it was like somebody interviewing him on the street. It was the day of his inauguration, and
I remember.
Richard Spencer was like a pig in shit.
I did not remember that it was the day of Trump's inauguration.
It was the day of the inauguration,
right?
And he started. Somebody asked him about his pen because he had an enamel pen,
yes.
and he said, "Well, this is Pepe the Frog."
Right. Well, he said it like in this smug little quasi-intellectual voice, like
he's like
this
little
is
rich
Pepe the Frog.
His whole thing is like. The reason why neo-Nazis and all this have failed over the years is that because they come off like dumb, ignorant morons.
Right.
And he's this like...
urbane,
upperly mobile, rich, and he sells like, well, we're not Nazis, we're alt-right.
Right.
And alt-right, that just sounds like when people hear something like that... Like, I had this friend that I grew up with that I stopped being friends with years ago, and he called himself... It was the most bizarre thing ever. He called himself a progressive conservative. And it's like one of these, like, what's the word, like an apathet or like a...
I was thinking like an oxymoron or something.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm like, what does that even mean? And he explained it to me, and I was like, dude, you're just conservative.
Yeah.
It's
okay, just say it, right.
You might be, like, a little more progressive than, like, in some ways. Like,
sure.
You won't kill gay people or something. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not, but you're conservative.
Yeah.
Like everything he was selling was conservatism. He wasn't literally everything. You were still for the war in Iraq. This guy I was talking about, not Richard Spencer. So Richard Spencer, he says something like, we're alt-right. People hear that. It's like, it just sounds alternative.
It does.
It sounds different.
Yes.
And it's like,
the
what
alt
is
like a very...
I don't like right-wingers, but alt-right.
Alt-right,
Ooh,
yeah.
What is that?
Right. They're slightly different than right-wing. Yeah. Well, I remember...
Worse.
They are. I remember when Richard Spencer got hit in the face, and it was hilarious.
And like I said, it was right when he was talking about the Pepe the Frog thing.
Yes.
So I'm not the only artist that posted that. There's been tons of other artists who drew.
Sure.
But the one thing I did, it was like the most ridiculous thing. First of all, the guy hit him in the side of the head, and then he gave him like a slight bruise.
Right.
It wasn't like the guy punching him in the face. If you see the drawing, like he's got his teeth are cracking, there's blood everywhere, and
it looks very gruesome. Yeah.
It's like the Hitler drawing.
Yeah.
And I drew, and you see like Pepe the Frog. And it says, instead of saying it feels good, man, it
feels bad, man.
Yeah, it feels bad, man.
That was the best part.
And I posted that, and again, people loved it. But then you get these people who say these, and it's funny because I see people like Joe Rogan say this, like you shouldn't punch a Nazi, you shouldn't punch a Nazi, you shouldn't do that. Which it's like, okay, well, people like Joe Rogan I don't get, because he'll say like you shouldn't punch a Nazi, and he'll talk about like he'll go on about like he'll defend like that stupid kid, the kid, and he'll say like you shouldn't do this. But the thing that my issue with him though is I don't see him coming out in defense when like a trans person's killed. Joe Rogan will say these things like you shouldn't punch a Nazi, you shouldn't do that, and when you hear him say that, it's like, okay, I get it. You're saying like, listen,
intellectually, I get it.
You shouldn't be violent. Violence is not. He's like, I know what it's like. He's like UFC, so he knows what happens. Freaking brains when they get hurt, and it's great and all, but I don't see him coming out of defense when people on the alt-right beat the shit out of people on the street, when a trans person gets killed, when like somebody in Antifa gets hurt, bruised, when people are getting just beaten shit out of it. You don't see him coming out in their defense. He might say something like, oh, that's wrong, but he's not going this long screed about how it's bad to punch a Nazi. So I'd get these people coming on my page, and they were like, they were saying that I was condoning violence. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'm not telling people to punch people.
No.
This is just fuck fascism.
Right.
You should not accept it. This isn't drawing.
Right.
And
it was objectively hilarious when Richard Spencer got punched in the face. I mean, I would just say, yeah.
I mean,
look, you go into the public square and you pull that nonsense and you wear a little racist frog pin and you're sitting there crowing about how awesome it is that you can now say these.
Lord is
you can say these terrible things in public now.
Yep.
You know what happens sometimes is you get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Because generally speaking, the majority of America is still pretty decent,
Yeah.
And people don't like it. People don't like racists getting in the middle of the town square and spouting their bullshit.
Right. It's like the people that cry about freedom of speech, but they're the first people who always want to take away speech.
Yes.
That's the irony. It's like they want to, speaking of Richard Spencer.
Yep.
This leaked on Milo, of all people, Milo Yiannopoulos, or his name. He's an all-around trash bag.
I would say if there's like a portmanteau between gadfly and Nazi, that would be him. Like a Gadsy.
Yeah, a lovable little Gadsy.
Imagine Truman Capote were a virulent racist. That would be Milo.
That's funny. That's kind of like the angle.
Yeah.
I know. I always found it hysterical too, where Milo would be like, he's this gay guy who is married, but is preaching values like extreme right wing values and trashing liberals, kind of libtards, saying all kinds of horrible things. When it's those people were the ones that got him the right to get married, even though here's the thing: he's not even from here. He's a goddamn. He's British.
Yeah,
and It's like, you're not even American. What the fuck? But regardless, he's the one who supposedly leaked this audio of
Richard
Spencer, who I guess would be even worse. So it's like, if you got your Darth Vader, he's your Emperor Palpatine, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, but we're not going to redeem Milo for this.
No, he's hot garbage. He's trash.
But there's this audio. Supposedly, it takes place the night of or the day after. It's like basically when Heather Harrier gets killed by the neckbeard kid.
Yes, in Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, yeah. And he goes on this insane, crazy, violent sounding. He says the K word. He says the J word. He says all the words.
Right. It's unhinged and it's so genuine in its hatred.
I thought one of the most fucked up thing was he was asked to be on like Jake Tapper on CNN.
Oh yeah,
for his opinion.
That was like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, and I think if he is ever asked again, especially after this leaks, I mean, I'm sorry, you have no value to society anyway. You know, some people we were talking before this about Mel Gibson. And But he did say, what did he say? All the Jews start or the wars, and he called a woman sugar boobs or something. And, and I don't know if I got the words right.
Well, I recall it being sugar tits.
But sorry. I didn't mean to
insult
Mel Gibson like that. My apologies.
Facts matter.
Facts matter, okay?
Yeah.
Debate me. Facts have no feelings.
Right. Well,
So, but, he didn't even say anything that... He said really horrible stuff. And I don't think he deserves to have his career back. But regardless, he's done things that people love. Mm-hmm. And I guess when you could be this horrendous person if you do stuff in culture. But this guy adds nothing to the culture. Right. He has nothing redeemable. There's nothing about him. He preaches... what do you call it?
It's like sophomoric hate. I mean, it's not even like well thought out.
Right. The funny thing about this thing is we said earlier, like he's supposed to be trying to sell himself as this like intellectual Nazi or whatever.
Right.
He's just a guy who's concerned about the white race. No big deal. Just a guy, just a regular guy. Concerned.
Yeah.
But. Yeah. No, you don't. Sorry. Go away.
No.
Go to hell.
Yeah. Exactly. Like
if any mainstream news media has if they're not having him on because he was like arrested,
right,
or they're talking trash about him or reporting what a piece of shit he is, and they're having him as a guest, then those people should be fucking fired.
They're done. Yeah, and look, I mean, this I'll probably edit this out anyway, but like Mel Gibson created pretty great art.
You're gonna edit this out?
My comment here, but I may not. But Mel Gibson created pretty great art and happened to be a horrible person. Richard Spencer's just a horrible person.
Right.
Period. Well, and there's a difference there.
My favorite thing about the Mel Gibson thing was always that like he made that movie though that was just kind of anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah, slightly, just slightly. The Jesus snuff
Passion
film.
of the Christ. Yeah,
the Jesus snuff film. Yeah, it's like people the same people who are angry at Martin Scorsese's
Last Temptation of Christ,
which was a thoughtful movie.
Very, I thought, yeah,
and. They were like, "This is bad," because there's thought put into it.
Right.
And Mel Gibson puts out a movie that's in a different language. They can't even understand.
It's essentially Night of the Living Jesus,
and it's just Jesus getting beaten and Jews looking evil, and yeah. And then he claimed the whole time that he wasn't an anti-Semite,
but he was.
And then a year or two later, he gets arrested.
Right.
And all the
super anti-Semitic.
He was super anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
But. He was super lovable in Horrible Dads too, wherever that movie was called.
Yep.
Nah, that's Horrible Bosses. The one with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberger, what's his name?
Mark Wahlberg.
And Will Ferrell, man.
Yeah.
That movie sucked. It was the one it was like Dads 2 or something.
Yeah, I remember that. Right. Well, look, Mel Gibson, he did Mad Max.
Yep.
And he did Road Warrior. And he did Breaker Morant, which was really good.
Yeah.
And he did...
The Beaver?
The Beaver, I don't know.
All right, let's fuck Mel Gibson. We're not going to talk about that.
All right, no way.
And you know what? Fuck you, Richard Spencer.
Oh, yeah, and get punched in the face again.
Yeah.
Right.
More punches. Solid. This time...
Connect
a little better.
Yes, all right.
So, working on... some Trump drawings and stuff like that, I will say, okay, I said, like, I haven't gotten any work out of it, or, I'm not doing... I did get approached by one band to do a anti-Trump shirt.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a big deal. It's a band called Andy Flag.
Right, which is a legit... That's like a nationally known, internationally
they're an
known
awesome
band.
band. Cool guys. And we were talking. It's so funny, though, because they started following me, I think, because of all the anti-Trump art that I was doing. This is going back... Again, this is like super early in his administration. Like,
right.
I started talking to him, I think, like in the spring of like 17, maybe even earlier than that. And we were just talking about like getting a shirt out, and I think it was Chris or one for the band. He was concerned that he said that he wants to get a shirt out. It's an investment to get a shirt out. When they got to pay for the art, they got to get the shirt made. His concern was that something would come up and he would be gone from administration.
Oh, yeah. Okay, valid concern.
Yeah, it's a concern, but unfortunately, reality has not been... I guess for the investment, it was kind, but it wasn't kind for reality.
Right. Not for the environment, or for the economy, or for civil rights, or for anything. But, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. The shirt is Putin breastfeeding Trump. And urine is coming out of Putin's nipple, and Putin is winking. And it's a fat, bloated baby Trump,
like a piglet.
Kind of like a piglet,
yeah,
a human piglet,
right?
And Putin's like doing that winking.
Yes,
that's like a photo of him. And in the background, this was kind of funny. I did this drawing. It was a shirt. It got out there. I think they're done with it, but it was like. I saw a lot of people had it. It was pretty cool. They were selling. I don't know if it was that Warped Tour or whatever that year.
Oh yeah,
17. Yeah. It was whatever their big tour was. And I think it was Warped Tour. But in the background behind it was the American flag, but instead of stars, it was the sickle. And I had, oh my God, it was the fucking funniest thing. When they posted it and I posted it, there was all these people who lost their shit.
Oh, man.
And I don't even know where some of these people were coming from. I think there were some people who were just claiming they were pissed off that we were taking the sickle and hammer.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
Like... Even though, because the Soviet Union hasn't technically existed in 30 years almost?
Right. That's probably about right.
But I tell people this, and I've been attacked from people, and like some of them, like I said, I don't know where they're coming from. I think some of them are just trolls.
Sure.
And it's possible, or whatever. But I'll just say this straight up: I know that the sickle and hammer is not their symbol anymore.
Right. Yes.
It's the irony, if you can't see the irony behind it, that it's not just Trump, but the whole entire GOP were basically with everything to do with Russia. And now they're okay with Putin.
Right.
When they were the biggest, like, anti-communist,
that was their bread and butter.
Union. Yeah. It was that for years. And then Trump comes along, and then the freaking record scratch.
He subverted our expectations.
Yeah, he subverted their expectations, and all of a sudden everything was okay.
Right.
So, yes, is the sickle and hammer factually incorrect? Well, duh.
Right.
Of course. But also, Putin was KGB. And KGB is Soviet Union.
Yeah, and I think that's not the knock on Putin or whatever, but like, look, after the Soviet Union collapsed and there was that Velvet Revolution in Central Europe and communism kind of toppled, there was a period of time where we had that glasnost and the former Soviet Union was moving towards a more Western style of capitalism or whatever.
That's all the Russian mob took over.
Right, yeah, kind of,
Yeah.
And then Putin comes in. And he's a holdover he's like the First Order. He's like...
He kind of is, right? Because, you had Yeltsin,
something.
right? And then Putin
you had Gorbachev and then Yeltsin. And you had like a series of them. And there was like a time in which...
Is he a Snoke or a General Hux?
Oh, he's more like a Hux. He's like a Hux who took over.
Like a Hux with no Kylo Ren to spin him around the room?
Right. Yes. Yeah. That all adds up.
It all makes sense. Okay, so since we're talking about some drawings, I'll just knock out some other ones. The other one, there's one more that I always kind of find funny. It was when they announced the Obama portrait by Candy Wiley. Mm-hmm. Who's an amazing painter.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I might have talked about this in our podcast before.
Yes.
So that's fine. But he made the Obama portrait. And it's this giant painting. and it's Obama, and he's sitting on a chair. It's like a little unusual for a normal presidential portrait.
It's very different,
but he is different from normal presidents. Yeah. And it's amazing painting.
It's really striking.
It shows like the roots of he's like, it's supposed to be like elements of flowers in the background. He's like within it's almost like he's in not bushes or like leaves, but it's supposed to be like in native Hawaii.
Yes, the foliage is very thick.
Yeah,
it's very colorful.
He's on a chair. He's not wearing a tie. It's more relaxed, but it's a thoughtful painting.
Yes,
it's very striking. It's very bold.
The
colors.
Michelle Obama one was beautiful too,
right?
In a different way.
The very different style, but also amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Very different, but also again a mark in history. And they also made sure to get African American artists.
Yep.
Or I don't know if Ken Wiley is considered if he was born here. Or not. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. It doesn't. There's a diversity of
right.
Yeah.
So. And it was amazing seeing this painting, and it was again people we could say, was Obama perfect? No, not at all. We could talk about John Strikes, we could talk about all the things we wish he did. I will say though, he did make the culture progress.
Oh yeah.
Milo wouldn't be getting married to his husband if it wasn't for the Obama administration.
Yes,
but whatever.
Hey.
No big deal. No big deal. No cultural impact whatsoever. But regardless, it calls back for a time when we saw this painting, and it was only I think it was a year after it came out, literally almost a year after he was done being president, and it was just almost this amazing painting, but it was also a hurtful reminder of what we had.
Yes,
in the White House, and so I was at my old job, and I saw that, and I was like, fine. I went home right away, and I drew my version. Now again, I don't have a full team like Candy does. Right. I don't have a big studio space. I don't have a 20-foot or budget or.
You have limitations.
Limitations. So I had a 9x12 Bristol drawing pad.
Okay. Yep.
And a couple microns and my Copic markers, and I drew my portrait that I think, and I'm willing to either make a better version or donate the idea, maybe collab with a painter, and it's Trump on the toilet instead of the chair. It's the same positioning.
Right.
And Trump is on the toilet. Now some people say, why isn't his pants down? I say, he poops his pants. There's no reason to take his pants. I don't want to be...
Right.
This is a presidential portrait. I don't want to be too crude.
Right. No, you got look. There's a certain gravitas involved in presidential portraiture.
Right. Yeah.
Portraiture.
Sure.
Right. And when they do now, I'm imagining they're going to build his library at a KFC or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
And
so
when he's out
of the Ollie's down the street. So he's sitting on a golden toilet. He's holding a Big Mac in one hand and his cell phone in the other hand.
Yes.
It's Obama's hands are crossed.
Right.
And he's looking miserable, and his long tie drapes down below the toilet. And instead of beautiful foliage and flowers of what Obama's of Hawaii.
Yes.
It's just McDonald's wrappers.
Wrappers.
Just all the colors. I looked up, I did the research, I made sure to find, most people think most McDonald's wrappers are just yellow and green.
Oh, see, that's what I would have thought.
Yeah, no, you see this, you're wrong. Because you're just a filthy vegetarian. They come in all different kinds.
Right.
Yellow and green, white and gray, blue and something, yellow.
Oh,
all different color wrappers.
Fish is blue.
Yes,
yeah.
And some of them come in cardboard cartons.
Okay.
And then the McDonald's famous fry carton.
Right.
Some sodas hanging around, and then within the wrappers was a jar of Russian hooker piss.
Oh,
which is part of the theme. That's on the floor.
Right.
So picture the painting, but again, downsized.
Yes, of course.
To an 8-inch drawing, but I knocked it out of the park. Candy probably took months.
Oh yeah.
On this painting, I did it in maybe 3 to 4 hours at tops.
Yes.
And I'm a better painter than you, Candy.
Dollar for dollar, you're a much better painter.
Yeah, dollar for dollar. Yeah, the amount of savings. And the thing is, do you even need a big painting? At the end of the day, I just got to zoom in with my camera, and I put it on Instagram, and guess what? The 20-foot painting is the same size as my 8-inch drawing on the guy's iPhone. It makes no difference. So why bother? Why do you even need to make good stuff?
Eventually, we'll all be sitting in cardboard boxes with an Oculus Rift strapped to our head, and we'll just
the shittiest version of Ready Player One.
Yes, we will just be living that life. So, yeah.
So that's one, and then and then here's another drawing I always like.
Yes.
We talked about this before. And I was thinking about it, and it's kind of more of like later on. I did one of the newer ones. It's leading up to now with the election, everything that's going on, and one of our favorite lines is with right wingers is like, at least they get to own the libs.
Yes.
Like, screw the environment,
right?
Screw healthcare, screw education.
Distant second.
None of that infrastructure, right. Any of that stuff mean nothing, because at the end of the day, all that matters, they get to own the libs. So it's a drawing of a skull.
Yeah.
And he's missing a couple teeth, because...
Hey.
Apropos to...
Right.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yes.
And he's wearing a Make America Great hat. And the skull is sitting there with that Make America Great hat. Mm-hmm. It says, at least I got to own the libs.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters in
the end. I mean, like, thematically, that's like so on point for that style of thinking. You know, like, they will gladly sacrifice... Like you'll have people gladly... Yeah. Clean drinking water? I don't need it as long as I get to own the libs. You know, I mean, like
I'll just blame Obama.
Yeah, it's
as I poison myself.
So bizarre the thought process that goes behind that, but that's it in a nutshell. You know, I mean, you get this like extinct dinosaur, like at least glad that he owned the libs. So,
I got to smell my own dinosaur farts. And then the last one, and this it's kind of cool. I did get approached. Another cool thing was a couple years back, again around 17, I got hit up by Vice Creators Project.
Right.
And they hit me up, and they wanted to feature me on their website. I don't know where else it went. It was kind of cool. I had a couple of drawings at the time that, besides the ass face one, one of the drawings they liked the most, I think, was, I did this after Trump was inaugurated, and I ended on this. It was Putin holding up a baby Trump, kind of like the Lion King. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Lion King.
Simba, yep.
And he's holding him up, and of course streams of pee are hitting him. and it's the same exact positioning, same rock that Simba is being held by. Yes. Do you know the guy who holds him up?
The orangutan? I don't remember his name. Rafiki.
Yes. I was going to call him Orangutan Joe. But his name is Rafiki.
Yes.
Instead of Rafiki, it's Putin, and he's holding him up in the same passionate positioning.
Yeah.
A lumpy baby Trump. And this is probably either post breastfeeding or before breastfeeding. Yeah. It was kind of cool. I mean, I always thought that was kind of funny. That's more of a funny drawing, but again, being anointed.
I still think, and I know we've talked about this, I know we've all previously talked about this, but I think that like when they look at your career retrospectively, you know, like if you're ever like highlighted at the MoMA or
something. Yeah, totally. I expect to be at the MoMA.
That they will like refer to your ass face Trump period or something like that.
Right, yeah. And they could say
the urine phase of the Trump urine phase.
Yeah. I expect that the full line, and it all leads to just like just ends with the skull.
Yeah, right.
With the hat, and it says, "At least I got to own the libs."
There you go.
And it's like, and again, it's going back to like they're claiming they're being shadow banned. They're claiming that they're the ones being silenced.
Right.
And it's like, no, we're not going to accept straight up bigotry.
Yeah.
Learn your dog whistles.
Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, seriously, there is.
Be a little more coy about it.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, that's.
I'm kidding. But I'm just like. So when he got punched in the face, like I said, I would see these people come out in his not in his defense, but they were like, "You shouldn't punch a Nazi," or you should talk to. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna have a fucking conversation with someone about genocide. Someone who says that they literally are okay with genocide, that wants to live in a white ethno state. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna have what kind of conversation am I gonna have with this person?
I always say like. And I know this is a bullshit analogy.
Can we all get along? Can we just all get along?
No, you can't. Not when like your idea of getting along is predicated on like someone else's annihilation. You just can't. You know, I mean, like, you can talk about getting along over like a lot of different things. You know, like you can have disputes and you can talk about getting along. But like the calling card of this subgroup of people is that they want another subgroup of people annihilated. And that's just not like, there's not like a lot of room for negotiation there, you know?
Right.
So,
I mean, you're like basically saying like, it's like negotiating. I mean, it's like negotiating with terrorists.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like,
it 100% is. Or it's negotiating your own demise.
Yeah.
You know? It's like if, I don't know, you could come up with a million different
it's
analogies.
It's a form of gaslighting too.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
It's like, oh, we're just people. Can't we have a conversation? So, you know, to get these people who would like get mad at me, like, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck you. Like, yeah, you got punched in the face and he deserves it.
Yeah.
If there's a person who deserves to get punched in the face, it's him. Sorry.
Well, and Stephen Miller also.
He hasn't got punched in the face.
No, but he deserves it.
He should.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Trump. Like, okay, the best is, and I wanted to bring it up in the beginning. I didn't get a chance. One of the best things to happen this week. You won't hear from next week. So
yes.
It's going to be old news already. Trump already had a weird thing with a minion recently.
Yeah. He put chocolate on the minion's head instead of putting it in the Halloween.
Yeah. So there was we'll get into that in a bit. That's like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So Trump went to the World Series game recently, which shows that he does not have good people working for him.
Right.
That are aware that most of the... I know there's people saying that he's still popular. I don't believe that. I think most people despise him.
Right, I agree.
And this is also in D.C., where he is despised.
He's reviled there.
Like, there are people in D.C., I think, on both sides of the aisle.
Right, yeah.
One side won't admit to it, but they hate his fucking guts.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless if they may have a similar ideology, as a person, they fucking hate him.
Right.
And he went there, and... Well, my favorite was is he going to throw out the first pitch?
Right.
There's no way this fat ass was going to throw out the first pitch. He's probably never...
It would look like a child clutching a softball.
He's probably never even thrown a ball before.
Right.
No, he's probably not. I mean, like...
Right, he just like slams it to the ground or something. Yeah.
You know, and that one was like eliminated right away. They're like, well, first of all, they were like, we don't want you on the... Like, they knew how hated he was.
Yeah.
Honestly, the fact they were like, yeah, come to the game, but they're like, they were like, yeah, we're not going to have you come out and pitch. Like, that's how hated he is. It's like, that's how divisive he is. So they announced him, and people, as he's caught on video, and you see him, and he's kind of like going like this to the audience, like kind of like smiling, like, oh,
pumping his tiny little hand.
Pumping his little hand, and then all of a sudden you start hearing, boo.
Oh, and lock him up.
And the whole audience.
Oh, yeah.
And you see his face, and it just like crumbles. And it's like, you know, some people are like, yeah, that's bad. But this person, fuck him.
No,
there's a horrible human in the world.
Right.
This is one.
It's like karma pulled in on a motorcycle doing
honestly,
wheelies.
If he really was this character and he really stood by it, he'd be like, yeah, bring it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Give me your booze. Well, it feeds me. But it shows me what a thin-skinned wimp he is.
Right. He could have pulled like a wrestling heel type of move. Which is
like, or been like, ooh, like
right. Oh, that would have been hilarious.
You can't see the motion, but you know when Hulk Hogan would do that thing where he would like swirl his hand by his ears so he could catch all the yays and stuff. Like, he should have done that and been like,
that would have been good.
Or he could have flipped the bird.
Right.
Double flipped the bird. Like,
or pretend twirled a mustache or
something.
Like,
that would have been like almost like, holy shit.
Right, that's pretty
There's
funny.
There's something admirable about this. It's fucked up. But instead, it's like he's a little wimp.
Right.
And it just shows you he's a piece of shit.
He's crying because people don't like that he puts children in cages.
Lock him up was all over the place.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that were fucked up from that was, well, it's like, again, a whole stadium. Fox News aired it, and they drowned out the boos and lock him up. And so now that gives Trump an ability to say, well, no, that was just some people in the stadium. That wasn't everybody. That was just a small portion.
Yeah, and CNN found the 7 people that were doing that.
Yeah, the fake news were saying it. So that's already fucked up. But you get like guys like Joe Scarborough the next day that were like, We shouldn't be doing that. That's disrespectful. Or like that guy Chris Coons, who's a Democratic senator. It's like This is why people don't respect Democrats. Right. You're like the prime example.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or to a lesser extent, I saw you had tweeted before you were banned from Twitter that
I'm not banned from Twitter. I just can't say anything for 12 hours because I said that Meghan McCain was a fake.
You got a timeout.
Calling Meghan McCain a fake redneck.
Well, the Representative Katie Hill, who resigned and stuff. I mean, like.
Well, I said, why should she resign?
Why the hell should she resign?
First of all, she didn't really do anything wrong. It was revenge porn, and they even found out she should come back because they said that there was revenge porn, and it was a right-wing organization. This is like the same thing happened to Al Franken.
Yeah, it was. And a right-wing reporter who had worked on Republican campaigns before was the one who quote unquote uncovered it.
But it's like Duncan Hunter's still there.
Oh yeah.
If you want to talk California politics,
or how about this? Donald Trump and Brett Kavanaugh have
Brett Kavanaugh has a job for life,
right? And they have probably between them dozens of credible reports of sexual assault.
Yeah,
and Katie Hill has like a consensual relationship.
She has blackmail.
Yeah, and she's the victim of a crime, and now she's got to she's got to scarlet letter her way out of it.
So. Trump getting booed at the White House, and you had like Joe Scarborough saying like this is like, and Minka Brzezinski, whatever her fucking name is, and they were like trying to make people feel bad, and like it's like fuck you. You come to the baseball game, there's nothing more American than having a hot dog, a beer, and be able to say, lock him up to the sitting president of the United States who's attending the baseball game.
Yeah.
That is definitely, that's America right there. That's freedom of fucking, if you want to talk about all these little right-wing crybabies and talk about freedom of speech, that's freedom of fucking speech. That's you know what? He has never come, and you'll never see this again. This was like to me, this was the George W. Bush moment when Stephen Colbert roasted him.
Oh yeah,
at the correspondence dinner.
Mercilessly,
because you had George W. Bush who was given a gift with 9/11. Like he was a lame duck president. He literally was like, people were like, he's not going to get elected because he stole that election. And then 9/11 happened, and everyone propped him up. He thought he was going to be this great guy. He starts this war. He becomes this like untouchable person. They would put like protesters in like in zone. They call them like free speech zones.
Right.
That were,
you get like
a mile away from Bush.
Free speech zone.
Yeah. It was like,
what the fuck?
Just go in your free speech zone.
That's like, it almost has to be Orwellian.
Oh my God, it was. Everything about George W. Bush administration was Orwellian. They were using all the Frank Luntz talking points.
Yeah, he's trash.
Yeah, fuck him. He was complaining about Trump.
Right,
so it's like, but when that was the beginning and the end of the Bush administration to me it was post Katrina.
Yep.
I think.
I think you're right.
Was it? Was it 2006 or 2005? Oh, it might have been 2007. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter. Regardless, George W. Bush did not go on like shows. He didn't go into public spaces where people could confront him and say something to him. And then Stephen Colbert got in his face and just fucking crucified him. And didn't care. And like he did his job, and George W. Bush couldn't handle it. He was just like,
well, that was the beauty of it, is that Colbert had the mic.
Yeah.
In that moment, and he used it, and Bush couldn't do anything about it. He had been able to manipulate
without making a huge scene.
Yes. And it's the same thing with Trump.
Well, Trump doesn't show up to those things.
Trump doesn't
show up to those correspondence. He had that wretched woman show up instead.
Oh yeah.
That I did a drawing of.
Right. Oh yeah. That's
that heinous woman.
Right. Huckabee.
Yeah. There's a drawing you can find of mine. Speaking of local drawings. It's her face in the front.
It's a lot of her face.
Eyes, but in the background, it's just different expressions of her.
And I know I referenced him before, but it is kind of like a weird Picasso-esque. It's a different style of art for you, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of your drawings, I'll look at like your drawings and your artwork, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I see that, and it's clearly like Rob's work. And then I'll see something else, like let's say I didn't even know it was you. I would be like, oh, that's that style. Like that's evocative of what he does. But I thought that Sarah Huckabee, where she just like multiple, I thought that had like a different aesthetic to
it. It's just like different facial expressions of her that I caught from
maybe
her giving press briefings.
Yeah, maybe it's the repetition, and she does have. And look,
her fucking face is fucked up.
Yeah,
sorry,
right.
I'm talking about her.
Right. Yeah.
It's not an attack on women. This is not an attack on anything. This is an attack on a shitty human being.
Right. Yeah. Well, she was such a serial liar. You know, I mean,
it's not even that she was a serial liar. She was just horrendous.
Yeah.
Like people were to me.
Well, and her
like
dad's
all those
trash,
people, you could say that all of them are liars. You could say that all press people, like Ari Fleischer, was a piece of shit.
Okay, yeah,
like
fair enough.
They're all liars.
Right.
But it's her.
Yeah.
She's just a vile piece of shit. That's what made it worse. It was the lying.
Well, she was sanctimonious about it.
Yeah, smug and her grating voice and like all these different things. It was
the fact that she looked like a giant toe. Like she
her eye, she looked like either she got kicked by a mule or didn't get kicked by a mule enough.
Right. Or like kicked by a mule and maybe should have gotten a second round to even things out.
Back into place. Hold on a second. Or whatever. Yeah, whatever. I don't think that's how mules sound. But
yeah, well, yeah, I was going for Mr. Ed.
That's how they sound. Yeah, the donkey.
But yeah, she looks,
So,
right.
Well, regardless, he's never been confronted by a real thing. Like, he goes to his little rallies.
Yeah.
And they're all, like, hand-selected. They purposely... They put where they want. It's like the fakest thing. I mean, the guy, when he ran for president, they hired fake people when he announced his presidency. They said it's out there. They called like a talent agency. They put like an ad on Craigslist. They paid people $50 to like show up.
Remember that kid? It was like 6 months ago. He was in a flannel shirt, young kid, and he answered a call on Craigslist to be at a Trump rally, and he just stood behind Trump the whole time, and he was like raising
asleep or like he was doing like weird faces.
Yeah, he was doing weird faces like Trump would say something. Remove him? Yeah, they eventually removed him, but like
I forgot about that.
He was amazing. But Trump would say something, and he would like arch his eyebrows, like what the fuck, like
to the side, or like like weird, like Jim from The Office, but like even crazy.
Precisely, yeah. It was like a Jim from The Office
like,
type of.
He's never been confronted, so this World Series thing was awesome. It was like, fuck you. Lock him up. It was like remember when George Bush got the shoe thrown at him?
Oh, that was great.
Imagine if the whole stadium threw shoes at him.
It's like Foot Locker. Yeah.
Fuck you. It's like you and these idiots. Like this is not normal times.
No, come on.
He's a joke.
Yeah.
And that guy Chris Coons, what the fuck? He needs to be primaried immediately.
Yeah,
him. Like I mean, that's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, who is this for? Like, why are you defending this? Like, what? Like, no one on the right's gonna like. You're gonna get invited to a party or something. No one. You're not gonna gain any Republican voters.
Well, it's like when that was it Joe Wilson or something, when someone shouted out "You lie" to Obama during his speech. The right never took care of their own on that.
No, if anything, they were bragging about how much money donations he got the next day.
So. Yeah,
they didn't scold him for doing that.
Yeah,
if anything, he was like rewarded.
I don't like. Yeah, and this happened in D.C. and
that happened during. That was like it wasn't a State of the Union, but it was basically like the first speech Obama gave.
Yeah, right.
As president.
Yeah. Well, and you even had that bullshit judge Alito like shaking his head, saying no. You know, like when Obama was giving his speech. So. I'm 100% not interested in lessons in decorum.
But you know what? This is even like to me. This is even a political thing. At this point with Trump, it's like this is like a unique. This is like fuck you, dude. Like, and you're being impeached. You're corrupt. The majority of the country knows you're trash.
Right. Yeah. So suck it up.
Yeah.
This just in.
What?
Trump booed at UFC. Not the college.
Ultimate Fighting Championship?
Yeah, Ultimate Fighting Championship.
MMA?
Yeah, MMA, yes.
Some would say that would be considered a safe ground maybe for Trump. Like maybe he would, I don't know, people just assume meatheads or something, which I don't think is a fair thing to say. Right. But no, people just hate this guy.
Yes,
and
universally.
Yeah, universally hate him. And And let me go take a look at some of these videos.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Okay. So sorry, I just took a couple seconds.
Right.
Joseph did a little edit thing there.
Absolutely.
And there was this one guy who was screaming, "Fuck you!" and boo,
right.
and he got booed. Of course, again, they try to make it sad. Oh no, there was people that were passionately booing and cheering.
Right. They were saying boo earns.
Boo earns. Yes,
Yes,
they were all saying boo earns.
Yeah.
And no, he can't go anywhere.
He was lustily booed.
I heard that he supposedly, and by the time this airs, I'm sure this will happen, that they're looking for an event somewhere in Alabama.
Yeah,
no joke.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I think they had one. It was a tractor pull. I think it was Truckosaurus, and it was billed as
Was it a Chase a Muddy Pig?
It was like $7 per seat, and you had to pay the whole $7, even though you would only need the edge of your seat, which is a little. It seems unfair, but that was the deal.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Right?
I was on the edge of my seat.
Exactly. So, but you pay the whole $7, instead of county fairgrounds, and I think Trump is they put an advance team there.
I would love to see that he gets booed there too.
At the Truckosaurus.
Yeah, and even Truckosaurus boos.
Right.
It's like whoa.
Big mechanical booing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. It was one of the best moments. So to follow that up real quick, a day or two later, I guess they were doing the Halloween event at the White House. So I was surprised they even let kids near him.
Right.
The funniest image that is out there right now, it's probably gonna be old news. You probably already seen it by the time you hear this. Was a kid in a Minion outfit, like a really good Minion, like a blow up,
like a legit
costume.
Minion.
So it almost looks like from a distance like Trump is meeting a Minion.
Right. It would be like a Universal Studios quality.
I mean, I don't think it was that good, but it was it was.
This thing was $20,000 at least.
Yeah, solid. It was a CGI actually.
Right.
It was Trump, the kid had been holding a basket, but it's like he didn't know what to do, and he put a candy bar on the top of the Minion kid head, and then Melania did the same thing,
right?
And eventually it just slid off the kid's head, and the best was just as they're looking and doing that and just being they're like, how do you human? I don't know how to do basic human things, like hand a kitty bar to a child. So I put on top of head. You are garbage can, right? You're garbage. You are garbage. So here's your candy. So the best is if you see the full video, because you just see the Minion. You see the full video where the kid just kind of turns around. He kind of looks at the camera. But he's a Minion. Because it's like one of those things where it's like an eyeball is a mesh thing, so you don't see the kid. So it just looks like an actual Minion. Just kind of looking at the camera, and he's just like, what the fuck? Whatever the Minions say.
Jim Halpert Minion.
Yeah, he's like, banana? Like,
it was hilarious.
And it is one of the funniest moments.
Trump and Melania looked so proud of themselves.
She's laughing, and it's like, are you fucking aliens? What kind of...
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, you should show that video should be shown to everybody. All these, they would, during the election, they would have, these Trump supporters.
Right, that should be the...
And they would be they would talk about how Trump understood their way of life or something better than Hillary did, which I thought was hysterical.
Right, of course, yeah.
It's like, this guy lives literally he literally shits on a golden
toilet. Yeah, it goes on a gold toilet.
You should show him that Minion thing and be like, this person doesn't even know how to do he can't even be human.
He can't hand candy to children.
Do you remember when he couldn't close the umbrella?
Oh, yeah, right.
He goes on the plane. He's holding the umbrella.
She's trying to pull
it. He doesn't know how to hold it. Yeah, and then it's like one of the best videos. It's like the umbrella becomes that Minion. And it's just like, I don't know what to do now. And it's this big-ass umbrella. He didn't know what to do, so he just leaves it on the entrance of the plane. And the umbrella just starts bouncing upside down in the wind, just I don't know what I am now.
It was almost like the beginning of American Beauty. You know, you see the plastic bag just sort of.
You can't close the umbrella. You can't give a child candy bar properly. You literally put it on top of.
Yeah.
Fucking one of the funniest things. But I noticed one new thing though in it. And I never realized it. Everyone always talks about how tiny his hands is.
Yeah.
His feet are
are they
fucking small.
Dainty.
Dainty. Do you know who the artist Rob Liefeld is?
Yeah, yeah.
You know the joke about him? How, the joke was that he can't draw feet.
Oh, okay.
And he's even like kind of...
What does he have? People standing behind rocks?
But when he draws feet, they're always like really small.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
I tweeted, I think like 4 people like laughed. It's like Rob Liefeld draw Trump? Like, and I was like, I think I said that, like, I think I told my wife, I was like, yeah, you got to see this video. His feet are so freaking small. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, it's like almost like something from a museum when you see bound feet.
Yeah, like
Chinese women from like 15th century, the bound feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, everyone's focusing on the hands. No one's focusing on those
that's
weird
crazy.
little elf feet.
Weird little
and maybe
feet.
it could be the video, how it was shot, the minion and everything, but it's like super small.
Oh, that's funny.
Trying to think if there's any other pieces that you wanted to...
Well, yeah, I do. I actually have 2 more I wanted to...
Okay.
Well, let me see. I have 2 more I want to talk about, and then I have... We got to talk about one more other one that'll make it funny again. Because the other 2 I thought that I wanted to talk about that I thought were real great is... You said earlier when we started talking that you're not a political cartoonist, and you're not.
I mean, I'm not, because it's like on a professional level, I'm not.
Well, yeah, but and that's not your. I mean, look, you definitely have a political perspective, and a certain percentage of your artwork is political.
I'm doing more than most artists are doing because
but
it's like
you churn out content too. I mean, you work at your art daily. You know, I mean, it's not like you turn out a comic strip every 3 months or anything. But you have done 2 pieces of art in particular that I thought were like classic political cartoon. Which one do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You go ahead. I mean, I have a vague idea, but
okay. Well, the 2, and one of them I reposted on my Instagram stories, and one of them is the thoughts and prayers, the 2 middle fingers.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's another one that went viral.
Well, let me just say this real quick. When I knew that was going to resonate like on a broader scale, is I used to teach high school, and I have probably like 80 of my former students follow me on Instagram. You know, they'll interact with my work every now and then, and they'll reach out, and I still talk to them, about life and stuff like that. But all of them liked that image. And some of them messaged me back, like the little fireballs or the fist bump or whatever. And I was like, and it's true because, like, look, most of these kids are either still in high school or a year or 2 out of high school. They're the ones that grew up with the high school shootings. And they're, to a person, 100% sick and tired of the bullshit thoughts and prayers thing. Right. All of the kids liked it, And
I posted that around the time, I think, of Parkland. I did 2 different drawings around that time. One of them I've used, and that's gotten a pretty decent amount of recognition. Someone wanted to reprint it, I think, but I just never got the chance to give them the art. It's when the kids were, people were like shot in Parkland, and again, Trump being this useless piece of shit, and him golfing. I drew him kind of like that pose of him, back of him, and he's hitting a golf ball.
Oh, yes, right.
It's a simple drawing. I did it pretty quickly, but it's him, this fat ass hitting a golf ball.
Yep.
He's got the red hat, and you see a field of dead bodies.
Yeah, and he's playing through them.
And then you see one of them I made sure looked like the coach that was killed in Parkland.
Oh, yeah.
And this one, and then you see in the distance the kid running, and he's got a MAGA hat on.
Right.
And he's holding an AR-15. He's running in the distance.
That's real powerful.
And Trump's hitting the golf ball. And I reposted that here and there. And that one always, like, messes with me, even though I made it. But it's like, and it just, to me, that's like the sign of what he is.
It's visceral.
Like, it's like when, remember when the body of, like, the father and daughter...
Oh, yeah.
I was going to post something, my wife said you shouldn't.
Oh, yeah, and then someone else did. Yeah.
Well, someone else did.
Right.
He was already a political cartoonist to begin with.
Right.
But my God, he got amazing adulation.
Yes.
He deserves it. I'm not going to even say...
Sure.
Like, I'm not comparing myself. This is a guy who is a political cartoonist.
Yeah, like a Pulitzer type of...
Yeah, like he's been around for years, and like he draws everything. He's from Canada, but he draws like Trudeau, and he draws this, but this thing got like...
Probably donuts, hockey, stuff like that.
Yeah, Tim Hortons.
Right. Characters of Rush.
Yeah. Martin Short.
Yes.
Canada.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah. The guys. The
Bob
McKenzie
and Doug.
brother.
Yep.
Yeah. constant drinking to them.
But also political
Tom
stuff.
McFarlane.
Oh, yeah.
Canada. Not Spawn or any of his characters. Just Tom McFarlane.
Just Tom.
That's all I can draw. He's from Canada. I have to draw him.
Yeah.
But I kind of stayed away from that one just because I thought it was like...
It was gut
Well, I was just not, at the time, I wasn't going to draw something that I felt like would be respectful. Mm-hmm. But, him kind of doing... The guy, like, I had literally had that thought in my head, and I'm not taking away from this guy, like, of the image of Trump kind of doing his, like... Because when I saw the dead bodies of those people, the first thing that popped in the head was, like, that photo of Trump, like, kind of finding his ball in his golf.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a recent photo of his fat ass.
Right.
So that drawing went around, though, going back to the shooting one. And then around that time, when I would see people say thoughts and prayers, I was like, all right, fuck this. So I just made 2 middle fingers. And on each finger it says thought, and the other prayer says prayers, and ampersand in the center. And that thing's been reposted. That thing's been...
Oh, I'll bet.
That thing has gone viral. Uncredited, of course.
Yes.
I've had people make sign. One guy hit me up. He was cool, and he's like, "Listen, can I make it into a sign?" I said, "Yeah, as long as you put make sure my signature's on there."
Right.
So he did, and he credited me when he posted it. And
nice. Yeah.
That's all I ask. Like, I'm not asking much. I'm not getting paid to do this. So if you can just do that for me, I have it in my T-shirt store. In my TeePublic. I mean, if someone's like, "Oh, that's tasteless, you're selling that," I'm like, "Is it?" Fuck you. It's not tasteless.
No,
it's an expression.
It is. And look, I mean, it is... maybe I'm getting like a little far afield on this, but look, it's a contribution to the public discourse. I mean, it's again like a real easy to understand message.
Well,
and it works real well. And I'll tell you, like I said, I'll repeat myself. I knew it resonated because like all these kids liked it. I mean, they
and
just
the thing
did.
is, I get the best response from kids in high schools.
Yeah, I'll bet.
They hit me up. They're like, I got hit up by people who had shootings in their area or in their school, and they thanked me for it.
Yeah.
They would DM me, and they would be like, "Yeah, thank you," And the other thing was, I tell you, like brain fart.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd get people who say like, "What's wrong with thoughts and prayers?" or something like that, and I'd be like, "Well, okay, this is like the same thing with like Ellen saying, why can't we get along?" Ignoring everything. If you just ignore everything, if you just shut the fuck up and ignore everything, not you. You, Joseph, shut the fuck. Yeah, but I mean, like literally, that's what they're kind of saying. It's like this again. It's like a form of gaslighting. It's like, just shut the fuck up. Hey, listen, we give up thoughts and prayers, okay? All right, bye. I'm gonna move on. We're not gonna do anything about it. We're not gonna. There's gonna be zero gun legislation. I won't even acknowledge. I won't even say there was a gun. I won't even say anything. I'm just gonna say we send our thoughts and prayers, and that's it. I did it. Okay, bye. All right, a week later. Oh, well, we sent our thoughts and prayers. 2 days later, I sent my thoughts and prayers. A day later, I sent my thoughts and prayers. An hour and a half later.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, this is useless. Fuck your thoughts and prayers. They mean absolutely nothing.
Right.
They do nothing. If anything, at this point now, it's a slap in the face. It's a piss on the face. It's salt on the wound.
It's just ridiculous. It's almost like, look, no one... Look, if I were to sneeze and you were to say, bless you, I wouldn't be offended by it, but I'm not also like thinking like, oh, he's blessing me because a demon might come. Right. But like it's almost like saying
compulsory. I don't even...
Yeah, but it's almost like saying bless you to a school shooting. It's like that's not fucking good enough.
Right.
It's okay when I sneeze for you to give me some bullshit compulsory.
Right. It doesn't mean anything. It's just like, you okay? Okay, cool.
And
all right, later.
My sneeze similarly meant nothing, But like when 7 or 8 of your classmates are killed, bless you isn't going to cut it.
A person who is supposed to represent you, a public servant,
right,
who really doesn't represent you,
tweets thoughts and prayers,
a gun lobby,
right,
because that's who pays them, and that's who paid to put them in there.
That's why thoughts and prayers is offensive, not because legitimate thoughts and legitimate prayers are offensive. I mean, those are fine. People should, if they're inclined to, think about stuff and or pray about stuff.
And it's like if somebody, again, it's like the same thing. Somebody on the street says, "Send me thoughts and praise you." I mean, I'm not going to get angry like them like I would a politician.
No.
They have no power. It's like the same thing with like, you know, when we were talking about a good example of like, oh, well, Ben Shapiro likes this person. Well, okay, well, Ben Shapiro likes you. That's not a good thing.
No.
It's not the same as like Bob the dentist.
Right.
It's not the same thing.
Or Bob the builder.
Right.
Fireman
same thing. It's like, it's not the same when someone at the grocery store says, "Send my thoughts and prayers," versus Marco Rubio.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's like Marco Rubio says it. He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean shit. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, "Oh God, I gotta get to my limo. You know, I gotta go get my lipstick on. Suck a living one. Nice. I gotta suck the living one's dick."
The other, okay, so like,
not gonna do the dead one again.
The dead one. The other image I thought, and that was like a real serious one, because the thoughts and prayers is a real serious one. But it's like
it's silly, but it's serious.
Yes, it's cartoonish. I mean,
it's flipping the bird, you know.
Yeah, the other one that I thought was really good, and it kind of came and went. I don't know what kind of feedback you got on it. My suspicion is that you didn't get a ton of feedback on it. Was the image? It wasn't. You didn't draw Dora the Explorer, but it was like a little girl in a cage with a Mickey Mouse shirt on.
It's a real image.
Yeah, it's a real
drawing of a real girl with a Mickey Mouse shirt.
And I forget the caption you had.
Well, I used it for two different ones, and I said that well, one of them was like a joke where because people were getting Disney announced Little Mermaid.
Right.
And,
right.
And everyone, you know, and it was an African American person.
Right. Yep.
That's the Ariel. Like, who gives a shit? That's great. Wonderful. I'm sure the movie will suck because all those Disney remake movies have not been good.
Yeah, my kid loved the Lion King CGI version.
We saw it, and my son was like, he's never asked to see it again. It's not as good as the cartoon.
Well, I agree, but my kid was like, this is infinitely better than that trash cartoon that you had me watch, and well,
maybe, you know, again, it's like,
hey,
it's what your daughter has terrible taste. What can I say?
Yeah, well, no, you know, I mean,
take that.
Look, it's not for me to judge, you know, I mean, like.
Well, okay, we'll move on from that anyway. I'm just messing around anyway, but the drawing was playing on how everybody gets mad over stupid shit.
Yeah.
So I had the drawing of the little girl in the cage.
Yep.
And it was like, and that is a real girl.
Yes.
I found a photo of a real girl in the cage, and she's wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt. And I said, "Oh my God, can you believe that Disney casted a kid in cage as Ariel?" Or something. Like, I don't remember the full caption, but it was just like, you know, trying to point out like this was going on. This is going on, and like.
But it seemed like such a look that I know, and again, I know that's why I said this before we talked about the thoughts and prayers one. You're not a political cartoonist, but that 100% was could have been a boilerplate political cartoon that you see in a newspaper, and it was like of that.
I've done a couple of different ones. You know, I've done the one with like Kim Jong-un and Trump.
Yes,
and, like,
that.
It's just their fat bellies, side profile of them shaking hands.
Yeah.
And like Kim Jong-un says to him, like, "My people think I don't go to the bathroom."
Right.
Oh no, he's like, "My people think I created the hamburger," and then he's like, "I hate that hamburger."
Yes.
And then he goes, "My people think I don't use the bathroom," and he goes, "My supporters think I'm a Christian."
Yeah.
Kim
LOL.
Goes, LOL. And that one always gets a good response.
Well, and you're right. That could have been if you opened up a newspaper, that could have been.
Yeah, you know. I guess. I mean, it's like, I do some of them. I'm not angling to get a job from it. I don't want to get locked down or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
this is another one I did this year. It was the anniversary of Columbine.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the 20th anniversary.
Right, yeah.
And so I did this drawing of like this graduation class, but like all shot up.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Throwing their hats up.
I remember that
like
one.
Blood, there's bullet holes everywhere.
That was like intense.
And I wrote this like kind of like this, not a eulogy, but talking to. A
really long post.
Columbine is a person.
Yeah.
and like treating kind of like, oh, you're almost a kid, you're almost an adult now, you're almost like, you know, are you going to college? Are you in college? Do you want a job? Sad. And like treating it like a person, because it's 20 years. It's like these kids that were killed there, they would have had kids.
Right.
They would have been in their
living their lives.
Mid-30s already, mid to late 30s.
Jeez.
And it's like, I don't know, thinking about it now, like I want to cry. Like it's, and I made it intense as possible. I wanted people to, I want people pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't want people to see that and be like, lol.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't ass-face Trump. This isn't, you know, some goof. This is like serious. Like, I take this shit seriously. I think it's disgusting. And Columbine was like, to me, when that happened, I graduated college that year.
Yeah.
And like, to me, that was like the end of civilization. Like, now I know that like there's been school shootings before.
Of course, yeah.
But nothing like this. On this.
No, that was so obviously intentional, so systemic, so it was a different thing. I mean, I can't put it into words right off the top of my head, but it was a different animal.
But the thing was, it didn't happen as often,
right?
Even, and it didn't happen that often after until, you know. And again, it's like this is, you know, you see like the Ellen thing with George Bush. It's like, no, we're never going to forget what a piece of shit he was.
Right.
He not just did he do the Iraq War, not just did he do, you know, Katrina.
Yeah.
Not just the one fucking thing he did that people forget is he didn't sign in the law, the assault rifle ban.
Right.
He let it sunset, and he promised that he would. That was one of the things he said he would promise when he was running for president, that he would make sure to renew it, because they asked him that. They said, "You got to renew the assault rifle ban." They knew it was up, and he let it sunset.
Yeah.
And you look at statistics.
Oh,
and
come
it's
on,
like, you just look at the rates, and it's like, and now we're like in gun hell. I mean, this is like, I mean, that was 2004. This is 15 years, 16 years later of like mass of all those guns being produced and accessed is easy to get. I don't know. I won't tolerate it. I'm over it.
Well, you can't. Like, I think, and I get this is my own perspective too, but like, you can't tolerate it. That's the thing. It's like, you can't. We've talked about this before. I forget the guy's name. It's like Enzo Macron, not Macron. But there's a guy who said, like, at some point the machine gets so odious, it's so terrible that you can't let it operate anymore. Yeah. You have to throw your body against the gears of the machine. And I think that's kind of like what I see when I look at, like, you know, your thoughts and prayers, the artwork that says like, I'm done with it. You know, I mean, I'm not going to let it slide. I'm not going to like debate it or look for middle ground. I'm just done.
There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground.
It's like, I mean, they won't even meet you 1/10.
No. They're arguing about bumps.
They won't even like put, like they argue over, like there was like a simple cheap security thing that was supposed to be on guns or something like that. Like it was like a trigger thing.
Yeah, like a trigger lock, trigger guard or something.
And did they fight it or something?
They'll fight anything.
Like they'll make. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, people have to realize, you know, how powerful the gun lobby is. Like, you know, seatbelts were never in cars.
Right.
That's a recent thing.
I remember having to get used to wearing a seatbelt.
Right. That's the 70s and 80s. Yeah. I grew up, thankfully seatbelts were like a thing already when I was a kid, so I never understood what anyone would argue. But I remember, like, my wife would tell me about that my mother-in-law had like a shirt or something like, I'll buckle up when Bundy does. Or something. When Bundy gets the chair. It was like a shirt going on.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And it was just like, but you think like it would be so easy, that it took years to get car companies forcing to put seatbelts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're not in the business of really keeping you safe. They're in the business of making product and making it as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
So anytime you ask them to do something that is a safety thing, well, guess what? That costs them like a nickel, a penny, and it adds
well, you times that by 1 million cars, and
that's $1 million they lost, or $5 million they lost, or whatever.
I never wore a seatbelt until I met my wife.
You went. Are you serious?
Yeah, I never wore.
Wow, you're that guy. If you were in my car, I would have been like, buckle the fuck up.
I was like 30 years old. I mean, like I was probably still not wearing a seatbelt. I'm gonna say like in the year 2000, I was still not wearing a
seatbelt. I
had
this one guy who came in my car. This is like maybe like not too far after that, and he refused to put a seatbelt on. He was sitting in the front seat. I'm like,
I never refused.
I'm not okay. I'm like, I'm not driving anywhere until you put your fucking seatbelt on.
Yeah, I get in someone else's car, I'm going to buckle up. I mean, I didn't have like some sort of ideological.
Yeah, this guy was an asshole.
Yeah, but I'm like, I drove to work. I don't know. I lived like 2 miles from where I worked, so like, but I never wore my seatbelt.
Oh, you're still here.
Yeah, right.
Take that seatbelt. Take that big seatbelt.
All right. Well, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up with like a dealer's choice. And what is your favorite?
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what's the one political art that you've done over the last year or so?
Well,
that's your favorite.
I want to when I do stuff, I want to also not everything be revolved around Trump. And that's why I do like things like the thoughts and prayers.
Oh,
where it's like it's not him; he's not in it. But it's like it's part of it. It still falls in that bucket.
Yeah.
But one of them was like I did some ones recently this year of like the Earth.
Oh yeah.
I did one for
the vomiting Earth.
The vomiting Earth.
Yep.
I did that for Earth Day.
Yeah.
Because I was so tired of like, especially now with like how we have a climate denying president, we have a climate denying. They run the show still, climate deniers, and you get these corporations and stuff that they use Earth Day to like gaslight people and to like try to make it like it's our responsibility. Like we're the ones that need to be responsible for it, and in reality, we're not the ones. We're not the ones producing. Yeah. We're not the ones we are at the mercy. It's like when people say things like, well, you don't have to buy that if you don't want to. It's like, well, I kind of do.
And it's hard to...
It's not really a choice.
Look, and they don't make it easy. I read an article, honestly, it was like about an hour before you came over, about how some guy was trying to figure out how Amazon makes its batteries. Amazon, the company.
Right.
Amazon Basics makes like a battery that's hugely popular. I've bought them myself. He's like, it's fucking impossible to figure out where they source this stuff. When you buy something, they don't tell you, oh, this came from equatorial so-and-so, and we had to strip mine a mountain to get it. It's hard. It's hard as a consumer. I mean, it shouldn't be our responsibility to have to track
We're at the mercy.
Right.
It's like when McDonald's in the 80s switched from styrofoam to paper.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That was them. They're the ones who had to do it. They're like, oh, well, all those people were throwing styrofoam on the street. Well, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah.
I mean,
don't give them styrofoam.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like you hear people I remember Giuliani would say stuff about, or he would say something like, oh, we can't have a nanny state.
Right. Well,
it's like,
I don't know. Maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe you need a nanny. Fucking put it in a nursing home. Fucking little kook. Yeah. But I mean, that's an old line I like to use. Where you just say things like, oh, we can't have a nanny state. It's like a nasty little oh, we don't need regulations.
Well, it's infantilizing. It's saying basically you're a child and can't handle yourself, so I guess we need to hire someone to mind you.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit because
we're a society. As a society, we're stupid.
Right. And look, not poisoning the planet on which you live isn't juvenile. It's common sense and a good idea.
When you find out too, it's like I recycle every day. Yep. I try my best.
Yeah, we do too. I mean, look, does the occasional messy recyclable get tossed in the trash? Yes.
Well, so I posted this thing, and I basically, are you
talking about the vomiting Earth?
Yeah.
That was a great one.
I could just find it if you wanted to pause a second.
Oh, yeah.
A second, I'll read it. Okay, so one of the things that, and we didn't really talk about it, was I try to write decent captions as best as I can. And I've learned to write better over the years because of that. My grammar, and I surprisingly got better. You probably see it. 3 or 4 years ago, my grammar was horrible. Well, you would be like,
It's funny because you always say clean up the grammar or whatever, but I rarely have to. I mean, it's all. And look, I'm a grammar Trump.
My wife has I used to run it by her all the time.
Yeah.
She would point out everything to me, so I kind of learned from her. I don't know how I even graduated school or anything. I think about it. I'm like, my God. I think in my age of 40 something, I figured out the difference between then and then.
Oh, okay, yep.
Two. Well, I knew two and the number two.
Sure.
I knew that because that's poo.
There.
Yeah. I knew.
Effect and effect.
Yep, I've learned that. Like, it's crazy when you don't think about it
Yeah.
and how much those words.
Oh, yeah.
Especially effect and effect.
Mm-hmm.
The then and then. Oh, my
Yep.
God.
Oh, that's a big one, yeah.
That is a huge one.
Right.
Yeah.
I do, occasionally I'll edit papers for people, and this one woman who was brilliant. I mean, like, I don't know her personally, but she was very, very smart, and she wrote like a 30-page paper on nursing, and it was talking about the differences between medication hours on the day shift versus the night shift.
Yeah.
And every single instance of the night shift, she wrote the night shit. And she just like repeatedly would talk
Night
about
shit?
like, yeah, she was talking about how like,
Maybe
you know,
the F key wasn't working.
right. I don't know what happened, but like, I guess sometimes if you hit like ignore on autocorrect,
Yeah.
it'll like, it will then start
Autocorrect
to
can be
read.
the worst enemy of mine.
Yes.
It'll like autocorrect things, and I'm like,
man.
oh my God, what the
It was
fuck
like
is that? Why are you
30
autocorrecting that?
30 pages of the night shit.
That's amazing. You should just been like, I have a new title for your paper. It's called The
Right.
Night Shit.
The Night-
It'll go over really well.
Yes, yeah. So, okay, so your
Okay.
caption for the vomiting
So
earth.
this is a good example of the earth vomiting, which I have as a sticker. Hit me up to get it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll bet you.
Okay. Earth is fucked and we're all dead. We're with an apostrophe.
Yes. Nice.
Thank you. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Enjoy all the corporate PR BS coming from polluters today about how it's your responsibility to clean the earth when you personally have no control of their industry practices. Enjoy pretending you care about the earth as you elect politicians in the pocket of polluters. Happy Earth Day as restrictions and regulations are removed, destroying any possible progress of cleaning our environment. You like Tesla? Well, you can't afford it. Enjoy seeing all the calming white and green color palettes on your phone today. Everyone knows that a tree grows when you use PMS 375 today. That's a Pantone joke.
Yeah, that's
That's
little
for
inside
you
baseball.
your graphic designers out there. PMS 375. That's green color too. How's that allergy problem of yours? You know, the one you never had before. Happy Earth Day. Hashtag Happy Earth Day. We're all dead. Earth Day. Climate change. Global warming.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a real good one. And that, I mean, not to like be all sales pitchy, but that is like, I could imagine that being the perfect sticker because it's like a cute, kind of adorable earth.
And I have another one that's even it's yeah. I mean,
He's a cutie.
yeah. He's cute. He's a cutie.
I mean,
and then I did another one, updated one, but I made it cuter where he's flipping the bird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a
Double
good one.
flipping the bird.
Actually, that one is cuter. That
It is
like
actually
a more
cuter. He has little dot eyes and a little frowny face, and he's flipping a bird. Because in the end of the day, the joke is when I say Earth Day, guess what? Earth is going to be fine when we're gone.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's true.
I think if you go by actual science, what do we take up on the Earth's timetable?
It's like
we're not even like
right, like
not even a day or something.
Well, if the entire history of the Earth were a day, we would be like the last couple minutes. I mean,
no, are we even in the minutes? That's the thing.
You're right.
We're not
Maybe
even
we're a couple
like,
seconds.
It's like something ridiculous. I mean, the dinosaurs were millions and millions of years
That's
before us,
true.
and before the dinosaurs was millions. Like, that's a fucked up thing. I remember as a kid growing up, I used to think, like, because stupid things like the Flintstones and toys. I remember,
right.
I would go to like this is like in my kindergarten class. I brought like caveman and dinosaur.
Yeah.
I remember my teacher was like, "Oh, they weren't together," and I was like, "Yeah, they were."
Yeah, the fuck they weren't.
She's like, "No, they weren't. Humans did not exist during the time of dinosaurs." I was like, "What?"
It was I remember.
I was only 5.
I blame the Flintstones. But
it was more like the toy play sets I had. I loved it. It was like Caveman vs. Dinosaurs, like my favorite thing. And I really thought that cavemen would throw rocks at dinosaurs.
It tracks. It all adds up.
It makes sense. How else are you supposed to fight a dinosaur?
But
giant
rock.
With a giant rock. Yeah. So that that kind of ends that. I mean, I know this episode is kind of all over the place.
Yeah, well, yes, it is.
But that is an aspect of my artwork.
Yeah.
I do a ton of other shit as well.
Well,
That's not political.
No. Look, I like this one. We've done a lot of political stuff lately. And what's creeping up for a long, long time, our best episodes, our most popular episodes have been Matrix, Love, Death, and Robots, and Fight Club. Those are our 3 most downloaded episodes, but by a mile. I mean, but you know what's creeping up are the political ones.
Well, the election's coming up.
Yep.
And it's going to consume everything, and having this Mongo moron, dangerous idiot in charge is just going to, I mean, it consumes everything.
Well, and so much of what we discuss, like, look, I bring a certain perspective to what we discuss. And it's like, it's kind of like a quirky, side aspect of a lot of things. But a lot of what we discuss is like kind of informed by your artwork, and the way you interpret current events and the way you, not to be like super intellectual about it, but, you'll take these big, giant ideas, like big, complicated ideas, and distill them into one image. Which is like
an anus face drawing.
Well, yeah. Okay, so sure, some of them are scatological, but
yeah, definitely.
But that is true. Like a lot of times we'll look at these films or these movies or TV shows or whatever, and we'll take these big, broad ideas and they're putting them into a bunch of moving pictures, and then we'll take them and look at like some of the moving pictures and what they mean. And I think that's like a real interesting thing.
Well, the funny thing is, it's like people, it's like, especially with movies, and we talk about, obviously that's mostly what we do, except, is that, and it's the same thing with art. It's like when I get people come on my page and say something like, I didn't follow you for the politics, this is bullshit, I'm unfollowing you, and I'm just like,
later.
Yeah, but it's like art and politics, it's like, it all mixes. And it's like the same thing when people complain to like, look at this movie that I've watched for years and ignored the original stories. Why does this new one have a political agenda?
Right.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
They always
did. All of it did.
It's like, RoboCop is a great example. It's like, if you watch RoboCop as a kid growing up, yes, there's awesome scenes. There's the big robot in RoboCop in this fight, and there's the melting guy, and it's awesome. But there's also like the fact that like what the movie's really about is the complete destruction of like social norms and like corporate control,
privatization,
corporatization, destroying of like communities being destroyed, and like that is politics.
Yeah,
like that's what that movie is, and that's why we talk about like why the sequels never are good.
Right.
Because they don't ever capture what made the first one great.
Yeah, they don't.
The heart of it.
That's the thing too. Is like they have something to, like the original will have something to say, but they've said it. Like Logan's Run or Blade Runner, or I guess Blade Runner is a bad example because the second one was pretty good. But a lot of those movies, like They Live, would a sequel to They Live be satisfying? Like on a fun fan level, I mean, sure, I'd love to see it.
I just don't know. That's never gonna happen. But like a good example.
But they said what they're gonna say,
right? But it's like the same thing too. It's like when people say when they watch something, it's like you watch like Alien, or Aliens, and the whole core plot of the movie is the alien is like the scary monster, but the plot is the evil corporation that is trying to weaponize the aliens to sell as whatever fucking society is in the future. They're trying to use these aliens to sell as like artillery,
bioweapons
for
or something,
a war.
Yeah, and
it's like, do you not like? It's there. Mm-hmm. It's not subtle.
No,
it's the core plot. It's like when people complain about the new Star Wars movie, saying it had a political agenda. Yeah, and then you watch the original trilogy, and the Empire is literally.
It's Nazis. It's literally they're called stormtroopers. I mean, it's not hidden. These aren't hidden figures or agendas or whatever. I mean, they're like right out there.
It's right there. Yeah. It's almost like when I see it, I think, and this isn't like, oh, I picked up on it. Or, it's not like I picked up on it right away. It's just like watching it and learning and reading books of different thing and being into like the idea, like learning the ideology I like and everything. You pick up on these things, and it's not like I'm making it up to meet my agenda or whatever. It's there.
Oh, it's there.
It's like, it's like when you go to a store and you hear music, like let's say you're at Walgreens or something, and you hear like a pop song in the background.
Yeah.
And like the pop song is like just loaded with like sexual innuendos.
Yeah,
and you're just like, how the fuck is this like a pop hit? Right. Yeah. Like my favorite was this was, let me get ended on this. This is the best. Somebody tweeted this. At a Trump rally recently. Before Trump came out, I guess they have a pre-show because it was like a concert. We only get to see, when we show on TV, you only get to see Trump. You don't get to see the opening acts. Right. There's several opening acts. Yeah. And one of the things they were playing, though, which was great to the audience, was YMCA.
Oh, classic.
And all these Trump idiots were doing the YMCA dance. Yeah. And this guy tweeted, he goes, don't these people know this song is about gay men fucking at a gym?
Right, yeah.
That's what the song is about.
Yes.
It's about gay men having sex
no
at
need
the
to feel
YMCA.
down. Yep.
It's in the lyrics.
It is.
And look at these idiots who are voting against. That's like that sums it all up. It's like it's like people don't see it. It's there. It's like popular songs.
Right. Well, they're gonna fucking lose their shit if they ever listen to "In the Navy." It's so yeah, that's a good place to end it.
Yeah, that's a good place to end it.
All right, cool. Well, no debates coming up, so movie next week, right?
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
All right, cool.
So if you're still with us, if you made it through this,
you will. Yeah.
Yeah, you can handle it. You can handle it. You're good. It's our people in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, shout out.
I have no idea what these people are saying.
No.
Except for that one guy.
Right.
Nicola.
Nicola. Yeah. Nicolaw.
Yeah.
He's got like cool stuff on his
page.
Check
him out. Yeah.
Right?
Thanks for commenting.
Love it.
Tell your other friends.
Yes.
Neighboring countries too.
Prost. I think that means cheers or something.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Prost. They're like, Prost means war.
Yeah, I hope not. Gosh, yeah. All right.
Sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes a miscommunication.
Yes, to serve man.
To serve man. All right, I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still going on about
that.
Thank you for listening to You Still Going On About That. Please like, comment, share, and if you haven't done already, please follow us on Instagram, YSGOAT, Facebook, YSGOAT, and Twitter, YSGOAT. Thank you, and have a great day.